Men accused of shooting at deputies will face a judge. Travis Raines and Jordan Gerke are accused of leading deputies on a high-speed chase along Alico Road and then shooting at them. Fearing for their lives, 3 deputies returned fire. You can get your flu shot while you get tested for coronavirus. Today, the Department of Health in Lee County is start offering flu and hepatitis A vaccines at all walk-up testing sites. The flu vaccine, of course, is more important than ever this season because of the pandemic. Senators Marco Rubio and Rick Scott just fast-tracked a bill that would keep the U.S. on daylight saving time through November 2021. They say the nation has been through a lot and does not need the change. The State Ethics Commission found probable cause to believe Fort Myers Police Chief Derek Diggs misused his city purchasing card. Accusations range from using the card to purchase extravagant meals to boots and satellite radio subscriptions. FMPD says all of these expenses were appropriate and within city policy. The commission will be resolved through a stipulation, a settlement, or a consent order. More children are testing positive for the coronavirus. New data from the Florida Department of Health shows Collier County has the 3rd highest positivity rate of COVID-19 for children, but Collier County Department of Health officials say it's getting better. Since the end of July, the positivity rate among kids is dropping, and as of August 30th, it was at about 9%. FGCU suspended 2 campus organizations for hosting large parties. The university president did not say what groups hosted them, but the action is based on verified reports of coronavirus violations. The school also warned individual students who will be suspended if they choose to host large parties. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
I-75 is shut down from a deadly crash at mile marker 162 to mile marker 164. So traffic being diverted off onto Jones Loop Road and onto Piper Road to get back onto the interstate from US 17. If you want to avoid the whole thing as well, you can also take US 41. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Some occasional hit or miss spotty rain and storms in the forecast for today with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Going to be breezy at times this afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s. More scattered showers and storms possible for your Friday. Temperatures almost identical in the upper 80s and lower 90s. A chance for some more occasional pop-up storms for the weekend. Temps near 90. And then, believe it or not, into next week, a weak front is going to try to make its way across the state. And as a result, slightly drier, but still temperatures in the upper 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour. Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel.
True Steel, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
And now a word from Dr. Johnston at 596 BACK.
Across the country, there has been a major increase in the number of back and neck pain cases. Most researchers attribute it to a decrease in the amount of activity people have been getting. This leads to pinched or compressed spinal nerves. These same nerves go down into people's legs and arms. I've especially noticed this among those with stenosis, arthritis, or bulging herniated discs. This pain, weakness, or numbness should not be ignored. Action needs to be taken. If you suffer from one of these conditions, or even scoliosis or neuropathy, it's important to get your condition correctly diagnosed and treated. At Johnston Spinal Care, we treat these conditions non-surgically, without needles or medications, using spinal decompression, completely safe and painless. Call today for a no-charge telephone consultation or MRI review. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it's a fit for you.
Hey, it's Drew Steele talking to my good friend Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters. And I love talking to Dave because when I talk to Dave, I know that means he has something special for you. In this case, like I have in my home, Core Tech is absolutely amazing, Dave. And I got to tell you, I love it. My wife loves it. And boy, you've got a lot of Core Tech right now in stock.
Yes, we do. And we've got about 6 or 7 truckloads coming to beat the tariff increase. And we're going to guarantee a freeze of the prices on all our in-stock Core Tech. We're not going to go up 50 cents a square foot and we're going to save it for our customers.
And so when it comes to core tech, I mean, it is just amazing the selection that you have. And not only that, the installation is incredible. What you do there is fantastic.
Yes, and we stock 100 colors of Core-Tech.
Floor Meisters, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. So give them a call today at 239-596-4964 or on the web at floormeisters.com.
If you're tired of paying for cable news, tune into Newsmax TV right now for free. Get real news with shows from Mike Huckabee, Greg Kelly, Michelle Malkin, Diamond and Silk, Alan Dershowitz, and more. Newsmax is on all major cable systems, or get it free on Roku, Zumo, YouTube, Pluto, Apple TV, Chromecast, Amazon Fire, or your smart TV. So save money and watch Newsmax TV, or download the free app from your smartphone and start watching right now.
Do business more powerfully during Dell's semi-annual sale. Save up to 45% on Dell computers and servers with Intel Core processors. It's time for you to upgrade to new modern devices with Windows 10. Also, save on electronics and accessories, plus free shipping on everything and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call 877-ASK-DELL to talk to a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find just the right tech. That's 877-ASK-DELL or visit Dell.com/business deals.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live each and every day on YouTube. If you're watching, thank you. We do appreciate you. At Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Subscribe to the channel. We always enjoy that. That helps to keep us going. A busy day. So what's coming up today? Well, our friend Bjorn Lomborg from Sweden is going to join us. We are going to have a conversation about climate change. Now, if you know about Bjorn Lomborg, and we've talked to him before on this program, and he has been on many programs in the past. And I think even recently, if I'm not mistaken, he was on Tucker. I want to say it was last week. But we're going to talk a little bit about the California wildfires because, it's all man-made. I mean, man-made maybe is a stretch. There have been a couple of men that have been arrested for arson and starting the fires, but I don't think that's where we're really going to go. I think where we're really going to go today is to get more details from him on the wildfires and climate change. And he wrote about the fires in Australia earlier in the year. He also wrote an op-ed in the New York Post and talking about what is really the truth, what is and is not happening when it comes to climate change. He does have an interesting perspective. He does believe that there is climate change that is happening. To what degree and how much we can change it. Wait till you hear the numbers, the actual numbers, and how he describes it. Bjorn Lomborg will join us at 8 o'clock this morning. At 8:35, I am told, a late addition to the program is Judge Janine Pirro is going to join us at 8:35. She's got a brand new book out, and we'll talk about that and get into some more details about the president. And, her new book is called what? Don't Lie to Me and Stop Trying to Steal Our Freedom. Boy, there's a lot of that going on lately, right? The lies that are out there. And I kind of wanted to start the program this morning that way. In just a second, we're going to get to some of the audio from the CDC and Robert Redfield and from the president and what he said about vaccines, understanding that the left in this country they love football. All right, so maybe the left doesn't love football. They just love goalposts. And they love moving the goalposts. See what I did there? That was pretty slick. See, what happens is that, right? It's not a joke. Not a joke. All right. I was a little late on the trigger. Here's the thing. We were told not too long ago Masks need to be mandatory. We're not going to mandate masks. We can't do that. It's not constitutional. We're going to mandate up again. That's Joe Biden. We're told by Robert Redfield in the CDC that, you don't have to mask up. Healthy people shouldn't mask up. No, healthy people need to mask up. As a matter of fact, masks are even more vital than vaccines. Like, dare I say that it might be more beneficial to wear a mask than to have a vaccine? Really? We were told for the longest time throughout this whole year that the way we get back to normal is by having a vaccine. Now, all of a sudden, it seems as if, well, that's not really the case. We're moving the goalposts. Why are you moving the goalposts? And the president talked about it. It's pretty obvious. But we have, to Judge Jeanine Pirro's book and the Don't Lie to Me and Stealing Freedoms, and certainly I'm sure we'll talk about mask mandates and that freedom stealing right there and our liberties. But also with this is we have a crisis of trust in this country. We have a crisis of trust across the globe that is on display recently. And I could prove it in more than one way this morning, and I will. And we're going to play some audio. Some of it is really shocking. Even from Fox News and Newt Gingrich, who was on the program yesterday, who dare mentioned George Soros's name. George Soros, the billionaire who is behind anything and everything that is trying to destroy this country. That's not my words. That's others with proof, documented proof as to where the billionaire's money is going. And I can tell you it ain't pro-liberty. And he got shut down by Fox News. He got shut down because he dare mention George Soros's name. Now, it wasn't necessarily the network, but it was on Harris Faulkner's program yesterday, and I'll play that audio, and it should shock you again because the crisis of truth and trust is something that needs to be examined and pointed to when you can't debate people. If Newt Gingrich brings up George Soros's name and says there's a problem here, and he's prepared to give you the evidence, and your way of arguing your point is just like the left always does and says, oh, no, we're going to shut you down. No. You need to shut your mouth. You need to shut that pie hole, my friend. Maybe not to that degree, but you'll hear the audio. We've got a crisis. We've got a crisis in truth and facts and trust. Who do you trust? 239-479-5592. I wonder if that's like the question of the morning. Who do you trust anymore? It's, even Jake's making a face. It's an interesting prospect because we don't know where we would be today if Donald Trump were not president of the United States. You don't like the way he tweets? Okay. You don't like the way he talks? Fine. You don't like his mannerisms? Whatevs. What we do like is results, right? That's ultimately what we want. I mean, let's be honest. If Barack Obama were president of the United States and he were a Democrat and he came into office in 2008, and all of a sudden he were doing all of the things that we talked about as conservatives and Constitution-loving Americans, and things were happening that were a positive, you probably would step back and go, maybe I was wrong. Of course, that wasn't going to happen because he's a Democrat and he's a lefty and a progressive, and we all know that, right? Okay. But sooner or later, you got to stop with the nonsense against the president. If you're getting the results that you want in the country, what kind of hatred could you possibly have towards the president? How desperate and ugly could it be? And there's a lot of that on display with what the media will say and will not say, will allow guests to say and not say, and even whose side they will be on at any given moment based on what the president says, like vaccines. Got to have a vaccine. It's the only way to open up the economy. Hey, it looks like we might have a vaccine before Election Day, just saying, or maybe a little bit after. But this year, it looks like we're going to have no. I'm not taking that vaccine. You taking that vaccine? The president says it's safe to take the vaccine. I'm not taking that vaccine. No way. Masks. That's safer than vaccines. That's what happened yesterday. That's crazy town. It really is. All right, so I'll play the audio coming up, but I did want to touch on this. Something positive. A bit of good news. Okay, number one, we had such a great response to our Zoom Pledge of Allegiance a couple of weeks ago that I just thought, heck, we should do it. We should do it every week, and maybe we even end our programming week with it. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a Zoom Pledge of Allegiance every week. Listen, patriotic citizens, patriotic Southwest Floridians, I would love for you to join us, and it's real simple. If you text the letters USA, just text the letters USA right now to 239-479-5592. We'll send you a link to the Zoom meeting that we will have on Friday at 9 a.m. right after the show is done. And together we will say the Pledge of Allegiance. Just takes a couple of minutes out of your day. That's all it is. Get yourself set up. Get to your computer. Grab your phone wherever you're at. If you're driving, if you're getting ready to head out, it'll only take a few minutes. But unified together, I think it's important that we do it. And we had such a great response the last time. I thought, well, let's do it again. So Friday, we will do it again. So just text the letters USA to 239-479-5592, and we will send you the link to the Zoom Pledge of Allegiance on Friday at 9 a.m. So that's going to be, and plus there's other news out there that we will get to, but you know what? I don't want to take a break right now, Jake. I want to get to my audio. That's what I want to do. Can I do that? Is that okay with you? All right, that's fine with him. Then it's fine with me. Look, I talked about the crisis of truth and facts. And, you know, the big rumble, the big discussion yesterday was, did you see what Robert Redfield, the CDC, said? Talking about masks and how the masks are even more important than the vaccine. Did he really say that?
Face masks, these face masks are the most important, powerful public health tool we have. And I will continue to appeal for all Americans, all individuals in our country, to embrace these face coverings. I've said it, if we did it for 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks, we'd bring this pandemic under control. These actually, we have clear scientific evidence they work.
Really? Okay, so number one, can we see it? Can we see your clear scientific evidence that shows us that if we all would wear masks, that what you say would happen will happen? Can you show us the scientific proof? Because I have yet to see it. I have yet for the CDC to display it. I want to see it. I want to see your proof, because we have our own proof in this state that would show that mask mandates don't work. They don't do anything different from areas, for example, in Trump County, we did not have a mask mandate. Same size cities in the state of Florida had mask mandates. Guess what? Same results. I have examples that I can give you. Of course, they're not peer-reviewed and scientific, but then again, I don't see the peer-reviewed scientific results from the CDC and Robert Redfield. I can give you examples of how when mask mandates were put in place, there were huge spikes in cases. Why? Because people get this false sense of security. They think it's doing something. They think it's stopping the virus, and it's not. That's just a fact. But because the scientists say it, and the CDC says it, but then, of course, it depends on which given day the scientists say and what they say that we will decide if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Well, at least the left does that. All right, let them go on.
And they are our best defense. I might even go so far as to say that this face mask is more guaranteed to protect me against COVID than when I take a COVID vaccine, because the immunogenicity may be 70%.
Okay, let me stop right there. CDC Director Robert Redfield is now insisting that I might say that this mask would protect me more than a vaccine. And he's saying the reason why is because, well, a vaccine may only take care of 70%. It's just like when you take flu shots. There's no guarantee that the strain that is out there is going to be affected by what you are taking. It's not 100%. You all know it's not 100%. You take it because you take that risk, or not risk, I shouldn't say it that way, that gamble, or that luck of the draw to say that the one that you have and you're taking is the one that's out there. There's no guarantee, but better safe than not. Okay. So what he's saying is that it's the same thing with what the vaccine will be doing as we move forward. But we thought that the whole idea was to have a vaccine, even though in the middle of the year, in the middle of the pandemic, we knew that it wasn't going to be 100%. There would not be one, but you see how they're moving the goalposts? And the humorous part is that as he's saying, I think this mask is more important for public safety and health than the vaccine itself, while he's holding the mask in his hand and his fingers are on the inside of the mask. I thought we're not supposed to touch things. I thought we're not supposed to have our fingers. I could go on all day. I'll just go on for right now. Now, I hate to sound so negative, Nelly, but I'm sorry, Nelly. If your name is Nelly, I'm so sorry that your name is associated with negativity. Like it couldn't be Negative Nelson. And in which case, Nelson, I'm not sorry because you're not associated with negative like Nelly is. So all you Nellies out there, it's a valuable lesson for us to not give negativity to names like Negative Nelly. And kids, here's a valuable lesson for you as well. Don't do drugs. But anyway, here's the point. So I go back to this. It was back in, March? Pandemic's pretty much underway. CDC Robert Redfield asked about masks. What does he say?
Should you wear a mask if you're healthy?
No.
Wait, what?
Should you wear a mask if you're healthy?
No.
What changed? That's the same CDC guy. What's changed? I'm just asking. Well, maybe we should ask Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci was asked about this in the middle of the pandemic, right?
Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is.
Hey, who are we listening to these days? Which expert are we listening to? Who are we not listening to? Which science are we going to follow? Which science are we not going to follow? Which peer-reviewed study do we get to see? And which peer-reviewed study doesn't exist, but we're told exists, but we don't get to see it because it would go against the narrative until we find out that the narrative is the narrative, and then we go back to... Do you see what I'm saying here? A face cover... Somebody said define mask. Face covering. You know, the ones that you buy, that you've been walking around and going into each and every store. You know how we have a virus that is out there that when you stand up in a restaurant and you walk in and you have the mask on, the virus cannot get you. But when you sit down and you're eating and you're talking to people and you're laughing and you're drinking and the mask is completely off, the virus is like, I'm not going near that guy. I'll wait till he stands. And then when he's wearing that face covering, I'll try to get him then. Because that's what viruses do. As we see the numbers going down. What I am saying here is this. Are there things that we can do to be sensible? Yeah. Are there precautions we can always take to be careful? Yes. We could do that at any time we want to. Hey, if there's a big, huge flu outbreak that's got nothing to do with the coronavirus, I don't know, a couple of years from now, we're going to start doing this again, shutting down businesses and mask mandating? Because, heck, if it works then, I mean, flu kills a whole lot of people. But when it gets to be to the point where we question what you're saying, where you're not giving us the 100% facts due to the science and the data that that you've said we have to demand, but yet you won't come up with it. And then you move the goalpost. The president says, hey, I think we might have a vaccine before election. I'm not taking it. Donald Trump says I should take it. I'm not taking anything. He's the bleach guy. Yeah, that came up a couple times. Not yesterday, but in the past. We have a crisis of truth. We have a crisis of facts. And it's a shame. All right, maybe I'm wrong. All right, let's see what you got. 239-479-5592. You want to call? You want to text? We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to text the letters USA to 239-479-5592. If you would like to be part of our Zoom Pledge of Allegiance tomorrow at 9 a.m. as we finish out the broadcast week here on this program. So we're looking forward to that. And streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch. At Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Subscribe to the channel, please. Helps to keep us going. Let's take a break. Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Big Island Builders, whose reputation for quality homes at a fair price is unsurpassed in Naples.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
At a time of increased demand for home entertainment, Sony plans to roll out 2 versions of PlayStation 5 this fall. Last week, Microsoft said it's going to release 2 new consoles in November as well. The Wall Street Journal reports the Federal Trade Commission may file an antitrust lawsuit against Facebook by year end. The FTC's been investigating concerns that the social media giant's been stifling competition. The Federal Reserve says interest rate hikes likely won't be an issue until 2024 as it works to support the economic recovery. And yesterday's rally on Wall Street faded as losses in tech stocks overpowered gains in bank stocks. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ ended lower. The Dow gained 36 points. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report. Invested in you.
This is an important message for all current and former Boy Scouts.
The Boy Scouts of America has declared bankruptcy.
If you were sexually abused in scouting, you could receive compensation, but you must file a claim by November 16, 2020.
You may file a sexual abuse claim regardless of your current age or the year the sexual abuse occurred.
Visit officialbsaclaims.com or call 1-866-907-2721.
Paid for by the Boy Scouts of America.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Thrust all along.
It's happening. In just days, Publishers Clearinghouse will be ready to award $1,000 a day for life. Enter now at PCH.com, and you and your family could soon be celebrating the win of a lifetime. Don't miss your last chance to win $1,000 a day for life. Go to PCH.com before it's too late. That's PCH.com. Better hurry if you want the next big winner to be you. Enter at PCH.com now. Entries due 10/28. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter finds the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists.
And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Why pay more for a used car or truck? Model year-end sales event at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers. 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease, just $49 per month. That's right, a new car for just $49 per month. 2020 Kia Rio, just $13,990. Yes, $13,990. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Galliana Kia has lenders to get almost anyone approved. Plus, we'll take any trade, in any condition, even if you're upside down. Why? Why buy an overpriced used car when you can buy a new car for less? Brand new Kias, just $49 per month.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Model model year-end sales event going on now at Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 24 month lease, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 due at sign plus tax, tech, title, dealer, and acquisition fee. 0 security deposit with lender approval expires month end.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing cost program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, my name is Jay, president of Big Island Builders. You know, I come from a long line of builders. In fact, I can still remember my first day on the job, working for my dad. I thought because I was the boss's son that I would start out in a construction trailer, looking over plans all day. Well, to my surprise, he handed me a shovel and he said, start digging. And that's exactly what I did. He made me learn every aspect of the building process by doing it. So if that's the kind of builder that you're looking for, look no further than Big Island Builders. BigIslandBuilders.com. Hi, my name is Jay, president of Big Island Builders. We live in a day and age where it seems like no one wants to take responsibility for their actions, especially in the construction industry. If an issue comes up in the building process, it always seems to be someone else's fault. Well, you won't hear that from us. We build a top-quality custom home, and we do it for a fair price. 239-262-6867.
This is a Wink News Update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Today, 2 men accused of shooting at deputies will face a judge. Travis Rains and Jordan Gerke are accused of leading deputies on a high-speed chase along Alico Road and then shooting at them. Fearing for their lives, 3 deputies returned fire. You can get your flu shot while you get tested for coronavirus. Today, the Department of Health in Lee County is start offering flu and hepatitis A vaccines at all walk-up testing sites. The flu vaccine, of course, is more important than ever this season because of the pandemic. Senators Marco Rubio and Rick Scott just fast-tracked a bill that would keep the U.S. on daylight saving time through November 2021. They say the nation has been through a lot and does not need to change. The State Ethics Commission found probable cause to believe Fort Myers Police Chief Derek Diggs misused his city purchasing card. Accusations range from using the card to purchase extravagant meals to boots and satellite radio subscriptions. FMPD says all of these expenses were appropriate and within city policy. The commission will be resolved through a stipulation, a settlement, or a consent order. More children are testing positive for the coronavirus. New data from the Florida Department of Health shows Collier County has the 3rd highest positivity rate of COVID-19 for children, but Collier County Department of Health officials say it's getting better. Since the end of July, the positivity rate among kids is dropping, and as of August 30th, it was at about 9%. FGCU suspended 2 campus organizations for hosting large parties. The university president did not say what groups hosted them, but the action is based on verified reports of coronavirus violations. The school also warned individual students who will be suspended if they choose to host large parties. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News Traffic.
I-75 is still shut down from a deadly crash at mile marker 162 to 164. So between Jones Loop and Duncan, they are diverting traffic off of the interstate onto Jones Loop Road northbound. And you will take Piper Road to head north to Duncan, where you can get back onto I-75. Also, some wet roadways in Cape Coral. If you are commuting, make sure to watch that following distance, especially in North Cape. A slowdown on Embers Parkway heading west to Burnt Store. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Some occasional hit or miss spotty rain and storms in the forecast for today with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. It's going to be breezy at times this afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s. More scattered showers and storms possible for your Friday. Temperatures almost identical in the upper 80s and lower 90s. A chance for some more occasional pop-up storms for the weekend, temps near 90. And then, believe it or not, into next week, a weak front is going to try to make its way across the state. And as a result, slightly drier, but still temperatures in the upper 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Steve.
92.5 Fox News. Right, all along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling tip of the day. There's only one Kobe Cooling in the whole world. We're the original Kobe Cooling. The only Kobe Cooling. That's KOBIE KOOLING at 239-482-1542. If you want real NATE certified mechanics with real training and real credentials, Kobe Cooling is your only choice. 100% NATE certified mechanics at your home to give you the best possible trained expert to handle your AC need. It doesn't make us perfect, but it does give you, our customers, the best available mechanic in this business. If you're not using a NATE certified mechanic at your home, you're missing out on the best. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949, and always NATE certified.
With the Diamond District, you get the best of both worlds. Jason and Todd are wholesale diamond brokers selling to the public and jewelry stores across the country at wholesale prices. The Diamond District is also a retail store that you can visit every day and see the largest selection of GIA and Forevermark loose certified diamonds.
Has the little blue pill let you down? Our expert medical staff at mymensclinic.com can and will help. Guys, if you're suffering from ED, we can fix it. Even if you have tried Viagra and other drugs and they've failed you, we will help. Studies have shown that we offer the most effective non-surgical treatments for ED, even if you have other medical conditions. They're generally no problem. We know that hearing "we can try again next weekend" is tough. When what you want to hear is wow. We at mymensclinic.com have helped thousands of men just like you, thousands more nationally. We can make one simple guarantee, and we do. See our licensed medical staff. If we can't show you positive results during that first appointment, that appointment is free. Guys, let's get the wow back in the bedroom. Guys, let's book online at mymensclinic.com or call 239-307-0125. That's 239-307-0125. Again, mymensclinic.com.
Slider Man, we make your patio door slide like new, Slider Man. This is our mission, to put your sliding glass door back in the top condition. Slider Man, we make your patio door slide like new, Slider Man.
Call Sliderman toll-free, 866-594-1969.
Hey, I love it here in Southwest Florida. This is my second home, and I know why you live here. You've been able to accumulate enough wealth to retire here. But you know what? Many retirement portfolios are exposed to way too much risk. Alfie Townsend and Advantage Retirement Group can help. So give your portfolio the second set of eyes that it needs. Call Alfie at 561-1155. And don't forget, listen for his program, Saving the Investor. That's Saturday mornings at 9 right here on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Trust.
Breaking news as we begin
tonight. You can always
tonight.
trust Wink News for the latest information.
Weather is the news tonight.
It can't be bought. It can only be earned.
In Fort Myers, Naples. Wink News now.
Over the past 65 years, as a local news leader, Wink has worked hard to achieve your trust. We're family owned. We're invested in Southwest Florida. We live here. We raise our families here. We are part of the community we serve. That's how we've built your trust. Trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
On the next Drew Barrymore show, Oscar winner, activist, and stunning human being, Charlize Theron. And this just into Drew's news, creator of Smizing, Tyra Banks. Plus, the bigger, the tougher, the stickier, the better. You will never have to worry about stains again. All new Drew.
Drew Barrymore, today at 3 on Wink.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Protecting your family is a priority. Smoke and carbon monoxide detectors are two of the best life-saving investments for the safety of your home and your family. But they do actually expire. The expert electricians at Mr. Sparky will test and advise or install the best unit for your home. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Back to Daybreak with Drew Steve.
After 6 months of listening to people talk with masks on, I finally understand what Charlie Brown's teacher was saying.
All right, that's yeah. Well, I guess it's kind of true, right? It's either you're going to have to figure out what people are saying behind masks, or they're going to have the Jake the Millennial Super Deluxe speaker, facial covering with a speaker mounted on the front of it, or like you put it on as a backpack or something like that. I don't know.
Stole my idea.
Yeah, we're still working on it. It's in prototype. We'll figure it out sooner or later. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe. A couple of programming notes. 10 more minutes, Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. We'll have some fun doing that. That is coming up. Also, and 750 as well, 650 and 750. 8:05, we will have Bjorn Lomborg from Copenhagen, and we will be talking about climate change. He has been talking about climate change and global warming and those fires in California. He did an op-ed in the New York Post. We're going to get into some of the details about that coming up. It'll be an interesting discussion. And Judge Janine Pirro is going to join us at 8:35 this morning. So that's going to be a lot of fun. She's got a brand new book out we'll get to. Now, one thing that I wanted to look at here as we move on this morning, I saw this story and I thought, this can't be. There's no way that this is true. And apparently it is. So the Minneapolis City Council, Minneapolis, George Floyd, the city where it all took place in Minneapolis, and after all of that taking place, the Minneapolis City Council voted on dismantling the police department. Remember, we're going to re-examine. We're going to reimagine policing in the country. We're just going to have everybody go around and just yell at each other and point fingers and say, "No, bad man, no, you should stop doing that," because you can't have guns. I mean, let's not get crazy. We don't everybody have a weapon and want it to be the Wild West. And we certainly don't want to have a police department, somebody that we can call to say, "Hey, we're having some problems here. Can you help us?" Because they're all racist, every single one of them. They're systemically racist, we're told. So we can't have the police department do it. So we're going to reimagine this. They voted on it. So in the wake of the death of George Floyd, while in the custody of Minneapolis police, the city council, nearly all Democrats, made the decision to defund the city's police department. They wanted this police-free future. So yesterday they did this kind of Zoom conference call to find out how things are going, and they wanted to discuss it. Well, this is pretty interesting. During a 2-hour meeting with the Minneapolis police chief, Medaria Arredondo, sorry, I just want to get his name right. Democrat City Council, in brazen fashion, demanded to know why city police are, you ready for this? You ready? Why city police are not responding to the violence with enhanced law enforcement measures. The residents are asking, where are the police? They're having problems in the city of Minneapolis, and they want to know why the police aren't showing up. No, this isn't like a Babylon Bee or The Onion. This isn't a joke. This is serious. I mean, listen.
And I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit more about that. I'm particularly interested in it because a couple of my constituents called me yesterday.
Yeah.
And told me that they had been told by rank and file officers that there was no plan and that we are not doing anything to prevent robberies in Marcy homes, that we don't have the staff for it. And so that message obviously contradicts the message that you're delivering in the slideshow. I'm happy to hear that. And I'd love to know a little more about what the robbery suppression work is and what are we doing to prevent what's been sort of a pattern in Marcy over the last 6 weeks.
What do you mean? You want to know what we're doing? We're reimagining police departments. You asked for it. They asked for it, and now they're talking to the the police commission, and they're saying, "Hey, what's going on here? I don't understand. I got people that are saying they don't know why nobody is showing up."
100 more officers. The implication is that is what's needed for the problem, and it is something that there's a lot more to it. And you hear that from constituents when they say, "Why don't you have a coordinated crime suppression tactic?" It's people want to know the tactics and what you're doing.
So the city council is asking the department, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" What do you mean? What are we doing? Well, I've got constituents that are concerned because robberies and looting and things they're going up, and we're wondering where you guys are. The only public safety option they have at the moment is the police department. They rely on the police department, and they're saying they're nowhere to be seen. But this is what they're doing. So you have the city council in Minneapolis, the Democrat-led city council, who is now demanding to know why the police aren't around. And there is an uptick now in crime in the city, and the constituents are concerned. And after saying we are going to abolish the police department because we want to imagine a police-free future, now we have an uptick in problems in the city, and we want to know where you guys are. You can't make this up. You can't make it. I mean, you could make it up, but why would you? Because nobody would believe it. They go, who would do that? Democrats would do that. Oh, that's not. How dare you say a Democrat would do that? That's not fair. That's not nice. You're just saying that. What? Well, where's the Republican-led city council or commission in anywhere in the country that is saying, yeah, we're going to dismantle the police. We want a police-free future, and you guys figure out something else to do. I don't know. You got brooms. You could sweep up the place. It's kind of dirty. I'm just asking. Oh, and on that note, you might be saying, how many people out there see the same thing we see? We have to, right? We have to believe that we're not the only ones. There's a crisis of common sense in the country. There's a crisis of truth in the country. There's a crisis of facts in the country. Or maybe it's we choose truth over facts. Make up your mind. There's got to be some common sense out there. What do people around these areas think? And if they're going to vote, which I assume they're going to in a couple of weeks, what are they thinking? Well, a new poll just came out from Rassmussen suggesting that Riot Zone voters, those who live in and around areas affected by recent looting and destruction, favor the president and his approach to handling unrest by a 2-1 margin. The Washington Examiner had this story, and it says Trump's leading for the first time now. 63% of voters who have seen violent protests in their communities strongly approve of the president, and only 35% disapprove. It's the latest showing that Trump is winning the law and order vote as the country sees violence from the protests expanding from big cities to smaller communities, like Lancaster, Pennsylvania, for example. We're starting to see it happening in smaller communities, and people are even asking, what happened in Lancaster? It's kind of quiet right now. Rioters descending on the town. Remember, it was Sunday. They were looting and burning after an individual chased a police officer with a knife. Chased him with a knife, only for the officer to turn around and to protect his life and shoot this individual chasing the officer. We don't get to hear that part in the mainstream media. The news didn't come out with that. They weren't quick to show what was happening exactly, because that would be actually reporting on the facts. And Not really sure if there's any media outlets left that do that. So people have been saying, well, it's been quiet. And why has it been quiet? Because police aggressively pursued those who committed crimes throughout the night. They arrested rioters. They charged them with multiple felonies. They kept them in jail on bail set at $1 million, up to $1 million. You want to get out? You got $1 million? At least 7 of the accused arsonists and vandals are still in jail, unable to pay the bond. So that's how you do it, everybody. Are you trying to figure out how we stop all of this? So number one, you have a city, Minneapolis, that after saying, listen, we want to dismantle the police department, we want a police-free future, gets together yesterday and says, hey, our constituents are saying a crime is going up. Where are you guys? No joke. We have the examples of how to stop the rioting and the looting, which is you go after the rioters and the looters. Last time I checked, if you're rioting or you're looting, you are breaking the law, right? It is amazing how people break the law each and every day when they riot and they loot, destroy property, where they are breaking the law, and yet you do not see these mass arrests because it's a protest. Why aren't we doing that? You ever ask that question? Like, how come we're not going around right now and saying, don't raise my taxes and smash a window?
It's illegal.
Well, again, right, because we have a conscience, right? Because we don't do that. As civilized Americans, we don't do I am not going to, Joe Biden's going to raise our taxes. Burn that building. Who does that? You never hear that happening, do you? Okay. Then the third part of it is something that I hope that you will help with. Listen, we back the blue. We back the blue on this program. I realize each and every day, police officers, men and women, people in our communities, our friends, our family, the person living next door to you down the street, these are our neighbors, people we care about and we love and support, go out every single day and do what I dare you to do. I certainly would not. And thank God that they are willing to do that, to put themselves in harm's way, to run to trouble as opposed to away from it. That these are the real heroes that are out there each and every day. We back the blue, and I know you do as well. And I just want to encourage you. If you have a family member, if you have someone who, an officer who in the past has made a difference in your life, has done something extraordinary that you witnessed and you want to reach out to the station, I would love to hear your story. And for everyone listening to this station too as well. And coming up, I'll give you details on how you can do just that. Because we back the blue here. You better believe it. All right, right now it is time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge for questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Caller number 5. How about you, caller number 5? Call right now. 239-479-5592. We would love to hear from you. Caller number 5. Call right now. Drew's College of Political Knowledge. Up next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. Let's find out what's happening with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
I-75 is starting to slow down. If you're heading northbound, there's a shutdown between Jones Loop and Duncan from a deadly crash. So I would avoid it for now. Go ahead and stick to US 41, especially heading out of North Fort Myers. Also, the crash at State Road 82 and Buckingham Road is causing a slowdown for about 1 mile westbound on 82. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, 89 to 90 degrees, mixture of sunshine and clouds, breezy at times, as we do have the opportunity for some occasional pop-up rain and storms to work their way through. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
The hour.
Rush Limbaugh. The horror of the shooting ambush of 2 sheriff's deputies in Compton, California last Saturday was made even more appalling by protesters calling for the cops' deaths at the entrance of the hospital where they were being treated. That vile display was too much for other members of the community to bear. Local activist, founder of a group that represents families of homicide victims, went to the hospital to declare his hopes that the injured cops live. He said that his group does not support shooting anybody, and they're not against law enforcement. County Supervisor Catherine Barger also condemned the disgusting agitators. She said the anti-law enforcement rhetoric from many community leaders and elected officials has created a toxic environment that's dangerous for those who serve and protect the community. And she's right. And let's be very clear about something. The anti-law enforcement rhetoric is coming from liberals, from Democrats. While the assassination attempt on the Compton cops was unfolding, Massachusetts Democrat Senator Ed Markey demanded a nationwide ban on tear gas. He called for all police to be disarmed of weapons of war. It's Democrats who are fueling this hateful war against the police, folks, all to appeal to their unhinged base. It's their words that are being used as weapons of war. They are the ones who need to be disarmed, not us, and certainly not the cops. Last year, there was a victim of identity theft every 3 seconds. That means a cyber bad guy could be selling your personal info on the dark web without you even knowing it. That's just one form of identity theft. Now, you might miss certain threats to your identity by just relying on bank statements or monitoring your credit. The solution? LifeLock identity theft protection. LifeLock sees certain threats that you could miss on your own. Plus, if you become a victim of identity theft, a U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will help you fix your problems. Now, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock can help protect your personal information. Get your free dark web scan when you join now and save up to 25% off your first year. Do this. Go to LifeLock.com/scan. Use the promo code RUSH. That's LifeLock.com/scan. Promo code RUSH for 25% off.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Jake Demolino here from Daybreak to talk about AMCO of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue, a lot of you know about. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission that was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. AMCO of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative AMCO dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, normal maintenance, tires, you name it. For those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO of Bonita Springs, 239-992-2626, 239-992-2626. A big thank you from Jake Demolino for AMCO Bonita Springs.
Hi, this is Kirk Cameron from My Faith Votes. This fall, Americans are faced with what may be the most important election in decades, maybe ever. If we as Christians stay home and don't vote this November, our children's future is at terrible risk. The consequences will be to unfairly shift this country's massive burdens to our children and grandchildren. Each of us can do something to make a difference. We can vote. Make the pledge to vote. Visit myfaithvotes.org today. That's myfaithvotes.org.
Paid for by My Faith Votes. Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Richard. Richard's in L.A. How about you, Richard? I got to push the button. Good morning, Richard. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. How are you, Drew?
Fantastic. Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question, sir, starts right now. Richard, who was the GOP nominee for President of these United States in the year 2016?
2016, that would have been Trump.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got an associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. The Chief Justice. Do you know that individual's name?
Robert.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. Mount Rushmore, 1927. It is completed, or actually begins the work on Mount Rushmore. Where is Mount Rushmore? What state is Mount Rushmore located in?
South Dakota.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a master's, a PhD on the way. If you get this question correct, the president, Donald Trump, of course, from the state of New York. Who was the last president from New York before Donald J. Trump?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question. Do you want me to give you some multiple choice?
Please.
Sure. Herbert Hoover, Woodrow Wilson, FDR.
FDR.
That is correct, sir. Congratulations. Good for you. What a great what a great mind you have there, Richard, in L.A. It is certainly something that you were right all along with about.
Thanks, sir.
See what I did there? Okay. All right, stay on the line. You get to talk to Jake. And when we come back, we get to talk to you. 239-479-5592. We will have some words from the president, what he talked about yesterday in his press conference. A little bit of vaccine talk. Interesting how we had to have it, and now the president's saying we might have it. And it's like, no, wait a minute. What? And Kelly McEnany smacking down the press. Love it. And you'll hear it coming up.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Keeping your home and business cool is a struggle, but now you can be the insider on how it all works and how to keep it running when the heat is on. Join Matt and Justin from Island Air right here on Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. for the Island Air Hour, providing quick and effective solutions for commercial and residential air conditioning and heating systems. If you have a question about your system, you can call us right now at 239-747-1550, and we'll be glad to help. Serving Southwest Florida since 1972.
Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Lowest prices ever on over 1,500 new and certified pre-owned vehicles. All new Jeep Gladiator Overland lease, $399 per month. Grand Cherokee Limited or Ram Bighorn Crew Cab, lease for just $299 per month. That's right, loaded luxurious Grand Cherokee Limited or award-winning Ram trucks. Your choice, just $299 per month. Plus at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you can drive payment-free for 3 months, interest-free for 6 years, and worry-free up to 100,000 miles. And our parts service and body shop are open to serve you. Jeep Adventure Days, featuring Ram Bighorn Crew Cabs and Grand Cherokee Limited for $299 per month at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 42 monthly, 10,000 miles per year, $32.94 due at signing plus tax title, 0 security deposit, $13.88 per month per thousand borrowed for 72 months, 0% APR with 0 down. Lender approval offers don't combine.
When a client comes to our firm after an accident, we have the awesome responsibility of returning what was taken away from them. Loss of income and earning potential, past and future medical bills, pain and suffering, the loss of the enjoyment of life. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our clients don't seek charity, they seek justice. They're looking to have their life back and property restored. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about your legal rights. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell. Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Today, 2 men accused of shooting at deputies will face a judge. Travis Rains and Jordan Gerke are accused of leading deputies on a high-speed chase along Alico Road and then shooting at them. Fearing for their lives, 3 deputies returned fire. You can get your flu shot while you get tested for coronavirus. Today, the Department of Health in Lee County is start offering flu and hepatitis A vaccines at all walk-up testing sites. The flu vaccine, of course, is more important than ever this season because of the pandemic. Senators Marco Rubio and Rick Scott just fast-tracked a bill that would keep the U.S. on daylight saving time through November 2021. They say the nation has been through a lot and does not need to change. The State Ethics Commission found probable cause to believe Fort Myers Police Chief Derek Diggs misused his city purchasing card. Accusations range from using the card to purchase extravagant meals to boots and satellite radio subscriptions. FMPD says all of these expenses were appropriate and within city policy. The commission will be resolved through a stipulation, a settlement, or a consent order. More children are testing positive for the coronavirus. New data from the Florida Department of Health shows Collier County has the third highest positivity rate of COVID-19 for children, but Collier County Department of Health officials say it's getting better. Since the end of July, the positivity rate among kids is dropping, and as of August 30th, it was at about 9%. FGCU suspended 2 campus organizations for hosting large parties. The university president did not say what groups hosted them, but the action is based on verified reports of coronavirus violations. The school also warned individual students who will be suspended if they choose to host large parties. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
I-75 is starting to slow down. If you're heading northbound, there's a shutdown between Jones Loop and Duncan from a deadly crash. So I would avoid it for now. Go ahead and stick to US 41, especially heading out of North Fort Myers. Also, the crash at State Road 82 and Buckingham Road is causing a slowdown for about 1 mile westbound on 82. The trip to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Some occasional hit or miss spotty rain and storms in the forecast for today with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. It's going to be breezy at times this afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s. More scattered showers and storms possible for your Friday. Temperatures almost identical in the upper 80s and lower 90s. A chance for some more occasional pop-up storms for the weekend. Temps near 90. And then, believe it or not, into next week, a weak front is going to try to make its way across the state. And as a result, slightly drier, but still temperatures in the upper 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Get a 2019 Buick Encore SUV with only 584 miles for $20,000. Practically a new car for thousands less. Or a 2004 Buick Park Avenue with only 56,000 miles. Florida condo car for $6,500. With over 300 vehicles, visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing costs program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Attention Florida plumbers, I need you to do me a favor. I want you to take a look down at your uniform shirt. Is the name Best Home Services embroidered on the front? If not, I have some very bad news. You're working at the wrong company. Join a team where you can create your own opportunities. Join Best Home Services. If you take pride in providing outstanding customer service, Best Home Services is where you want to be. Of course, we offer top wages, top benefits, top perks, but it's the other stuff that makes us different. You and your family deserve more. Join the team at Best Home Services and enjoy living up to the name. Best Home Services, now hiring plumbers.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you, today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
Want to make your home a more comfortable place but don't think you can afford a top brand heating and cooling system? Well, Carrier has the right solutions for every budget. When you turn to your Carrier expert, they'll show you our full lineup of best-in-class home comfort systems and help you pick the one that best fits into your home budget. Because in this economy, who couldn't use a little more comfort? Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Visit Accurate Comfort Services online at AccurateComfortServices.com today. License number CMC 057023.
The big networks have banned Blitz by David Horowitz. Still, Blitz is a runaway New York Times and Amazon bestseller. Mike Huckabee says if everyone read it, Trump would win in a landslide. Blitz reveals Trump's secret strategy and predicts big surprises soon. Mark Levin and Donald Trump Jr. urge you to get Blitz. Get Blitz at bookstores or see Newsmax's free offer and save $28. Just call 800-NEWSMAX, 800-NEWSMAX, or go to blitz411.com. Get Blitz today.
Do business more powerfully during Dell's semi-annual sale. Save up to 45% on Dell computers and servers with Intel Core processors. It's time for you to upgrade to new modern devices with Windows 10. Also, save on electronics and accessories, plus free shipping on everything and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call 877-ASK-DELL to talk to a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find just the right tech. That's 877-ASK-DELL or visit Dell.com/business deals.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. That is the talk and text line. Streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio. Anytime you want to watch, we appreciate that. Please subscribe to the channel. That will help to keep us going. Then you get a little alert. Bing. Let's, I don't know if it sounds like that, but it lets you know that we're on. And you can watch. Text the letters USA, by the way, to 239-479-5592 right now, because I decided that, with the success of the Pledge of Allegiance that we had a few weeks ago, in saying the pledge properly, because you know how the DNC did it and, leaving the words God out of the pledge. And it's kind of what they do. And then we had veterans here in studio, and together, World War II veterans, by the way. And together we did the pledge. We had such a successful time with it. And it was such fun that I thought, well, why not do it to wrap up the program each and every week? So if you text the letters USA to 239-479-5592, Jake the Millennial will shoot you over an invitation to our Zoom link where we together will do it once again right after the show at 9 a.m. So once the show is done, we wrap it up and we put a nice bow on it by all saying the pledge together. So I am looking forward to that. That's coming up tomorrow. And again, text the letters USA to 239-479-5592 so we can send you an invitation as well. We would love for you to be part of it. All right, a couple of things that I wanted to discuss. Coming up at 8 o'clock, 8:05 to be exact, Bjorn Lomborg from Sweden, Copenhagen to be exact. And we will talk about climate change, global warming, California fires. And he is someone who knows a whole lot about what is happening with climate change and the reality of it, and man-made or not. And we're going to dig into some numbers. So that will be an interesting conversation. And then 8:35 this morning, Judge Janine's going to join us, Janine Pirro. She's got a brand new book out. We'll talk about that and more. This is kind of disturbing, everybody. Yesterday on Fox News, they had this panel. It was on Harris Faulkner's program. And they were talking about the radical district attorneys around the country. They were talking about the concerns of law and order on our city streets and what is being done, and how you look at these Democrat-led cities, and it appears that that's where all the rioting, the looting, all of this is happening in those cities, almost as if they're allowing it to happen, and there has to be someone behind it. And the name George Soros has come up on a few occasions as one of the billionaire class out there who is helping to foment all of this destruction and to do things that, let's just say, are not exactly constitutional or in support of liberty and freedom in the country. I don't know. That's safe to say. Okay. So it was Newt Gingrich who goes on the program and has one of the most awkward moments that I've ever seen on Fox News. And they had a couple of lefties, as they always do, on the program, and talking about how it's not Democrat cities, it's Donald Trump's fault. Orange man bad. You know how that goes. They do all of this. But Newt Gingrich wants to bring up the evidence and the proof to show that there is a common denominator here in what's going on with these cities. And I want you to listen to this exchange, because this was awkward. And then we'll get into even more on this topic right after. But listen to this, about a minute long. So check this out.
The number one problem in almost all these cities is George Soros elected left-wing, anti-police, pro-criminal district attorneys who refuse to keep people locked up. Just yesterday, they put somebody back on the street who's wanted for 2 different murders in New York City. You cannot solve this problem, and both Harris and Biden have talked very proudly about what they call progressive district attorneys. Progressive district attorneys are anti-police, pro-criminal, and overwhelmingly elected with George Soros' money, and they're a major cause of the violence we're seeing because they keep putting the violent criminals back on the street.
I'm not sure we need to bring George Soros into this.
I was going to say you get the last word, Speaker.
He paid for it. I mean, why can't we discuss the fact that millions of dollars he spent?
I agree with Melissa. George Soros doesn't need to be a part of this conversation.
Okay. So it's verboten.
All right. We're going to move on.
What just happened? What just happened? There's Newt Gingrich on Harris Faulkner's show on Fox with a couple of lefties there. And he brings up the fact that George Soros' money is who is funding these progressive district attorneys, these that want to see police departments dismantled, that want to protect those that would break the laws. And Newt has proof. And the minute George Soros' name comes up, all of a sudden, it's like, no, we're not allowed to talk about you. What's going on here? Why can't we? Why are we not allowed to? And why is he not allowed to mention it? Anybody find that to be a little bit awkward? The Attorney General of the United States talked about it in a speech and talked about George Soros and the amount of money that he is spending in situations like this. This isn't something that is just pulled out of thin air. And Julie Kelly, who's been on this program on a few different occasions, has a fantastic article in American Greatness called "The Billionaire Backers of the Insurrection." Let's be reminded, everybody, that even though a lot of people don't want to talk about it, November 3rd is going to be a little weird. And after that, the potential for it to get out of control is pretty good. And we talked about it on this program. Remember, we had Michael Anton to talk about the coming coup and how the Electoral College is going to be used against those law-abiding citizens, law and order, and the Constitution to try to make it seem like Donald Trump did not win the election, Joe Biden did, and that there's going to be this behind-the-scenes attempt between Election Day and Inauguration Day to prevent Donald Trump from taking office the first time, when that miraculously failed, despite help from the media and the most powerful government agencies in the world, she talks about in this article, that will go public in 2020. And instead of help from those names that we all know, Clapper and Comey and Brennan and those, there are other names that are out there like George Soros, Tom Steyer, and others, even members of the Murdoch family. One of the co-founders of the Transition Integrity Project is Rosa Brooks, the Georgetown law professor and Obama administration alum, is a former counsel and board member for the Open Society Foundation. who created the Open Society Foundation. There's nothing open or society. Well, there is society, but it's nothing open about it. George Soros, 1993. The foundation is a massive donor to hundreds of left-wing causes around the world. In July, Open Society Foundation announced a 5-year, $150 million investment in racial justice groups, including, I need it, Black Lives Matter. In 2018, Soros' two largest foundations reported $14 billion with a B dollars in assets. And again, it goes on to talk about the list of dozens of sponsors, which in reality are mostly funded by a handful of anti-Trump people, and that being George Soros. And she goes into the Tides Foundation, and she goes into the Open Society Foundation. She goes into all the money that is being spent that is anti-Trump and anti this country and pro-anarchy. And it's all documented. This isn't made up out of thin air. This is all documented. It's out there. You follow the money and you find out who's behind all of it. And so why did Newt Gingrich get shut down? And again, there's this crisis of not only common sense, but the facts and truth in this country. And I tell you this because, and I see we have to go to break. And Jake, we can go to break right now. And I tell you this again because I just want you to be, I want you to be prepared for what could possibly be coming up on Election Day, a huge victory for the president election night, only to be lawyered up for the next weeks after that and then told that he's not legitimate, it's not legitimate, and Joe Biden is the legitimate president, where there will be never Trumpers and others that will back that prospect and then ask the media to pick a side. The military to pick a side and say, hey, listen, either you're on the new president, Joe Biden's side, or you're on the old president's side, and you got to pick one and talk about the confusion there can be there. That was in The Coming Coup in Michael Anton's article that we talked about last week. But then there's the other part, which is, if you know it's coming, you can put it out there. So when it happens, it's not like Russia collusion hoax where nobody saw it coming, where this is all out there now in the open. And you talk to people about it. And if they say, that's a conspiracy theory, how dare you say something like that? When it happens, you can say, that's what I was trying to tell you. And then when it's recognized, you can stop it. That's one way to do it. But to also recognize that those that would say that is conspiracy theory, and those that will continue to follow along the lines of, hey, you're not allowed to say anything about George Soros, and are not your friends. Not friends of the country, not friends of the truth, not friends of fact. 239-479-5592. Hey, don't forget the word, the letters USA. Text the letters USA to 239-479-5592 and be part of our Friday Pledge of Allegiance. Once again, we had such success the last time we did it on our Zoom meeting. We'll invite you to our Zoom meeting once again. We get all these faces. We got a space for 100. And we have all these spaces, and it's fantastic when we do it. And we'd love to have you join us. So text the letters USA to 239-479-5592, and Jake will send you the info that you need. All right, let's find out what's happening with traffic. We have time for traffic, Jake? Okay, here's Sabrina Katz.
A disabled vehicle is causing a backup of about 2 miles on Daniels Parkway. This is near Treeline Avenue. So if you're heading out of Gateway or Lehigh Acres and need to get to I-75, stick to Colonial. Colonial is also going to be your alternate for the crash at 82 and Buckingham Road because it is causing congestion on 82 between Colonial to Forum Boulevard. The interstate is still shut down as well at mile marker 162 to 164 between Jones Loop and Duncan Road. Stick to US 41 because traffic is backing up on I-75. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, 89 to 90 degrees, mixture of sunshine and clouds, breezy at times, as we do have the opportunity for some occasional pop-up rain and storms to work their way through. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News. News and smart views.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Hey guys, did you hear the good news about our boys at National Exterminators?
Yeah, boss. You mean about the $46 hit fee?
Yeah, and National Exterminators just hired an old school killer.
Bugsy the Roach, Ratso the Rat, Tony the Termite, and the Anthill Mob better worry.
I'm gonna put a big bounty on them now. Hello, National Exterminators. Get me the masked man.
Hi-ho, Silver! Yes, Godfather. Me and my trusted partner Pronto will get it done fast. Hey, Pronto, the Godfather just called, and we have to wipe out the gang of critters out west.
Out west? West of what, Kimosabi?
West of Miami, of course. Hi-ho, Silver! Low prices today!
It's me, Ranzo. I think we're done. The Lone Ranger and Pronto from National Exterminators has his corner.
Want to whack your gang of pests for only $46? Just call the boys at National Exterminators. Dial 239-46-NO-BUG and at 46nobug.com.
The National Exterminators.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive, here on the line with us, Dr. Michael P. Varveris. Doctor, a pretty heavy question for you here. How do you handle patients who test positive for COVID-19?
Well, if a patient contacts me with symptoms suggestive of COVID-19, we'll get diagnostic testing done as soon as possible. As I've discussed, it's crucial to get the right testing done. If the test is positive, the patient and I then have an in-depth discussion. Many times the symptoms are relatively mild, and we decide to hold on medical treatment and just follow the patient day by day. In most of these cases, the symptoms resolve after a few days or so, and medical treatment ends up being required. In a few cases, either symptoms are more severe, or the patient has a worrisome past medical history, or symptoms start worsening over time. Then the patient and I might decide on the best course of treatment, understanding that nothing has been proven at present, as I've discussed. Sometimes we decide upon inhaled corticosteroids, and other times on hydroxychloroquine combined with zinc and azithromycin. In all of these instances, the patients seem to have positively responded to treatment and were asymptomatic by the end of treatment.
Visit Dr. Varveris online at michaelpvarverismd.com.
Trust.
We have breaking news as we begin
You can always
tonight.
trust Wink News for the latest information.
Weather is the news tonight.
It can't be bought. It can only be earned.
In Fort Myers, Naples. Wink News now.
Over the past 65 years, as a local news leader, Wink has worked hard to achieve your trust. We're family owned. We're invested in Southwest Florida. We live here. We raise our families here. We are part of the community we serve. That's how we've built your trust. Trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
On the next Drew Barrymore show, Oscar winner, activist, and stunning human being, Charlize Theron. And this just into Drew's news, creator of Smizing, Tyra Banks. Plus, the bigger, the tougher, the stickier, the better. You will never have to worry about stains again. All new Drew.
Drew Barrymore, today at 3 on Wink.
Slider man, Slider man. We make your patio door slide like new, slide like new. Slider man. This is our mission to put your sliding glass door back in top condition. Slider man. We make your patio door slide like new, slide like new. Slider man.
Call Sliderman toll-free, 866-594-1969.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Stay right, 92.5 Fox News. There's so many funny. Really? Okay. Yeah, I know that. I'm trying to figure out when Joe Biden is. You can tell that he's confused and not sure what's going on because his lips are moving. What is this? So now Joe Biden suddenly, when it comes to masks, is. I'm trying to figure this out. So there was a moment in time where Joe Biden was asked about a mask mandate, and he's like, "No, I can't do that. I don't even think it's constitutional."
Sounds like you might want a stronger federal, response to this. And do you trust the governors to handle what's best for their states?
Well, I hope we can trust the governors, but here's the deal: the federal government. There's a constitutional issue whether the federal government could issue such a mandate.
All right. Guess what he said yesterday? He's like, Yeah, we got to do it. We got to have a mask mandate. He's flip-flopping on masks. All right, maybe we'll play some more audio of that coming up in just a minute.
This is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. But even in, I'm going to say it, unprecedented times, don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig, with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks, and with security solutions that help keep your connected devices protected. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next, and bounce forward. Help your business to bounce forward with this amazing offer. Get a powerful and reliable internet and voice solution from Comcast Business, starting at $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Offer ends 10/21/2020. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment installation taxes and fees extra. Subject to change.
Looking for a frameless shower door? My Shower Door has just opened their 8th Florida showroom, and it's conveniently located in Cape Coral. With more than 75,000 frameless shower doors installed, no one has more experience and 5-star reviews than My Shower Door. We've been named #1 by readers of the News Press and Naples News for 17 consecutive years and have just been named as Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
Hey, I love it here in Southwest Florida. This is my second home, and I know why you live here. You've been able to accumulate enough wealth to retire here, but you know what? Many retirement portfolios are exposed to way too much risk. Alfie Townsend and Advantage Retirement Group can help. So give your portfolio the second set of eyes that it needs. Call Alfie at 561-1155. And don't forget, listen for his program, Saving the Investor. That's Saturday mornings at 9 right here on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't seen your lap in months. And even more stuff. But still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
This Wink News Break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Today, 2 men accused of shooting at deputies will face a judge. Travis Rains and Jordan Gerke are accused of leading deputies on a high-speed chase along Alico Road and then shooting at them. Fearing for their lives, 3 deputies returned fire. You can get your flu shot while you get tested for coronavirus. Today, the Department of Health in Lee County is start offering flu and hepatitis A vaccines at all walk-up testing sites. The flu vaccine, of course, is more important than ever this season because of the pandemic. Senators Marco Rubio and Rick Scott just fast-tracked a bill that would keep the U.S. on daylight saving time through November 2021. They say the nation has been through a lot and does not need the change. The State Ethics Commission found probable cause to believe Fort Myers Police Chief Derek Diggs misused his city purchasing card. Accusations range from using the card to purchase extravagant meals to boots and satellite radio subscriptions. FMPD says all of these expenses were appropriate and within city policy. The commission will be resolved through a stipulation, a settlement, or a consent order. More children are testing positive for the coronavirus. New data from the Florida Department of Health shows Collier County has the 3rd highest positivity rate of COVID-19 for children, but Collier County Department of Health officials say it's getting better. Since the end of July, the positivity rate among kids is dropping, and as of August 30th, it was at about 9%. FGCU suspended 2 campus organizations for hosting large parties. The university president did not say what groups hosted them, but the action is based on verified reports of coronavirus violations. The school also warned individual students who will be suspended if they choose to host large parties. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
A disabled vehicle is causing a backup of about 2 miles on Daniels Parkway. This is near Tregeline Avenue. So if you're heading out of Gateway or Lehigh Acres and need to get to I-75, stick to Colonial. Colonial is also going to be your alternate for the crash at 82 and Buckingham Road because it is causing congestion on 82 between Colonial to Forum Boulevard. The interstate is still shut down as well at mile marker 162 to 164 between Jones Loop and Duncan Road. Stick to US 41 because traffic is backing up on I-75. That's your Up to the Minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Some occasional hit or miss spotty rain and storms in the forecast for today with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. It's going to be breezy at times this afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s. More scattered showers and storms possible for your Friday. Temperatures almost identical in the upper 80s and lower 90s. A chance for some more occasional pop-up storms for the weekend. Temps near 90. And then, believe it or not, into next week, a weak front is going to try to make its way across the state. And as a result, slightly drier, but still temperatures in the upper 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and we told you this hurricane season was going to be busy. Now is the time to get with my friends at Generator Supercenter, the #1 Generac automatic standby generator dealer in the nation. Listen, I've had my Generac generator for years, and maintaining power in tropical weather is priceless. Get a free estimate on your Generac automatic standby generator today. Expert installation and 24-hour monitoring. Generator Supercenter will never leave you in the dark. Call them 204-3469. That's 204-3469 for Generator Supercenter.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part? The price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Naples, and Marco Island. With 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you.
Don't miss Straight Talk with Doc Morris every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. right here on 92.5 Fox News. He'll answer all your medical questions.
Does marijuana work? Absolutely. We're helping over 4,000 patients now in this marijuana program, and we can help you too with multiple diagnoses. Get your appointment scheduled today. We can help.
For more information, go to morrismedicalcenter.com. That's morrismedicalcenter.com. And catch Doc Morris on his show this Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on 92.5 Fox News.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
I mean, what deal can we have, Crazy Nancy? I'm sorry, that was the president. I have such reverence for the office, I would never use that term. But it is hard,
you just did.
isn't it? Oh, come on.
But you just did.
You know what I mean.
I forgot to play that yesterday. Did you hear that? That was awesome. So Jim Cramer on CNBC has Nancy Pelosi on it because apparently he has her on quite often. And I don't know if he said this thinking that he could say it, that they had that kind of relationship, but they don't, I guess. And so he called her Crazy Nancy on the program as they were talking about, the next stimulus. The stimulus that is never going to happen before November 3rd, because if you solve the problem, everybody, you don't have anything to run on. Hey, that's a little inside baseball there for everybody. Just a kind of a moment where where maybe you just need to, I don't know, is this, let's see. Okay. Here you go. Little news break music. Here you go. This is a serious moment. If you are a politician in Washington, D.C., and you decide that you are going to solve the issue of getting together with Democrats, Republicans together, and figuring out a stimulus to, another, what's trillions between friends, getting out another stimulus to people due to COVID, and you do that before the election, then you've solved the problem. You've got nothing to campaign on. Though the Democrats are not going to be able to. The Republicans don't. Do you see? It's a wedge issue. They use it. They're not going to do a stimulus. They're going to talk about it, and Crazy Nancy's going to be Crazy Nancy. That's what it is.
What deal can we have, Crazy Nancy? I'm sorry.
Of course, like anybody on media these days, you got to walk it back.
Earlier today, when I talked to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Squawk on the Street, I made a very stupid comment. Yeah. It was a tongue-in-cheek attempt to make a point about the harsh tone of the negotiations in Washington. But I felt completely flat, and I apologize for that. As I said immediately after the comment, I want to make it clear that I have an incredible amount of respect for both the Speaker and, of course, the office she holds.
Yes, that's okay. So there's Jim Cramer's apology for calling Nancy Crazy Nancy, which, that's what you do. You apologize when you're in the media. Not for everything. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you are media, it doesn't make a difference at what level. If you are media and you report something, you kind of stretch the truth. You kind of figure your way. You kind of manipulate and mold. You're not going to apologize for anything you do. You just move on to the next topic. That's what you do. Like CBS News using a photo from a Latinos for Trump event as an image for Biden's Latino outreach in Miami. No, that happened, everybody. How about that? You better believe it. So CBS News had this report. Breaking news, Biden pitches crucial Latino voters during Florida campaign stop. And in the background, they used a picture with huge support for Donald Trump in the background and took out, the Make America Great Again. So you don't see any of that. You just see a bunch of people that are like looking at what appears to be Joe Biden and cheering him up. And it's not. It's not. It's fake news and manipulated. And you know how all that works. It's just fat and sassy. I don't know about that, but I do like that audio. Kind of weird. So yeah, lots of fake news out there. But again, just be reminded that the media does not have any desire to report facts, the truth. They report their facts, their truth, because they have an agenda, because they are left-leaning, and that if they get caught making a mistake, they don't admit the mistake. They just move on to the next topic and just make believe like it didn't happen. Or if it's Jim Cramer and you say something against Nancy Pelosi, well, then you absolutely apologize.
What can we have, Crazy Nancy? I'm sorry.
All right, 239-479-5592. A couple of things. Want to remind you. Number one, in about 8 more minutes, Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. And we will have a little bit of fun coming up. And this is fun and has been, and thanks to you understanding what we have been doing, we appreciate it. A couple of weeks ago, we had a Zoom Pledge of Allegiance that we did together with 100 people who joined in. We sent you an invitation. You joined us. We did a Pledge of Allegiance with 2 World War II veterans because you remember the DNC, they left God out of the pledge, and I wanted to do it right and show everybody how you do the pledge. And thank you for joining us. Well, we're going to do it each and every Friday. I thought, with the success of that moment, why not? So tomorrow we will do it again. Each and every Friday, we will end the program at 9 a.m. with an invitation for you to join us once again on our Zoom Pledge of Allegiance meeting. I hope you will do it. So to get the invitation, and by the way, we only have room for a certain amount of individuals, so please do it now. Text the letters USA to 239-479-5592. Jake will send you a link to the Zoom meeting. That will be tomorrow at 9 a.m. You join the meeting, and then we will do a Pledge of Allegiance together with you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. So I hope you will do that now. Text the letters USA to 239-479-5592, and we'll send you that Zoom meeting link so you can join us. All right, some of the other stories that are out there, I kind of half mentioned this before the break. We've got to figure out what we're doing with moving goalposts and how that all works. I mean, we know the president was talking about vaccines. You know, that came up. CDC Director Redfield saying, this mask that I'm holding, that my fingers are touching the inside of the mask that I'll end up putting over my face, which, of course, I can't be guaranteed that I have COVID on the inside of my fingers now, touching the mask. Now I'm breathing that in. Oh, gosh, I've got COVID, you know, that kind of thing. We don't want to talk about that. But yesterday, they're on Capitol Hill saying, this mask is the most important device that we have right now, even more important, dare I say, than vaccines. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but I'll get to the actual audio coming up. So now we move the goalposts once again. That's what we do. That's what the left does. Because we were told, all we got to do is have a vaccine. If we had a vaccine, we could be up and running. We could have this country moving forward again because we would have the confidence to know we have a vaccine. And the president's talking about vaccines. I think we might have one before Election Day or maybe a little bit after. No, I'm not taking it. You taking that vaccine? The president saying it? No way. I'd rather say nice things about, defend China than defend the president, which is happening as well. You see the perversion here, how distorted life is, where you would have a media that would be quick to try to make it seem like that if the president says China's bad, that they would be willing to protect China, then protect the president. Like if the president says, look, we got big problems here, China, and let me spell it out for you. You hate the president so much that you would go after him for saying that, then admit what we all know. Like if you have the evidence, this orange is colored orange. Did the president just say, that's not orange? That's a shade of orange. That's not even, how could he say that? But you get what I'm going. So now they've moved the goalposts on vaccines. The president recognized that as he talked about it yesterday.
I will say this is a phenomenon that only happened when they realized that we may very well have the vaccine prior to a certain very important date, namely November 3rd. Once they heard that, the Democrats started, just to show you how bad the intention is, they started knocking the vaccine. Had nothing to do with the vaccine. It was totally made up. It's all disinformation.
Is he wrong? If you're a Democrat, 239-479-5592, you want to defend, the other side now that is saying, oh, vaccines. I mean, is he wrong? Again, what is the fundamental answer to these questions? This is something you have to understand and take home. This is what you tuck in your pocket. This is when you talk to friends. This is when you talk to others. This is what you need to know. Number one, the left, when it comes to COVID, when it comes to the Rona, the left in this country is going to consistently move the goalposts. They will always do it because if the president has something that he's this close to, my fingers are thinly spread apart, unless, of course, you're watching on YouTube, then you see that. Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe. If he's this close to coming up with, they are close to coming up with, not the president, but those that are creating the vaccine, to announcing that we have one so we can get back to work, because that's what you've been telling us. That if the president says it, then they will turn it and flip it and twist it. And the second part is, remember that if the president does announce that he has a vaccine, if Democrats were to say that they came together with Republicans and now have presented the American people with a stimulus that they've been asking for, what's another $1 trillion between friends to solve the issue, you've taken away the wedge issue that they can campaign on. When are we ever going to solve immigration? Well, I don't know. If we solve immigration, what are some people in certain states going to campaign on? Dare I say, if if there are those that are able to solve the racial inequality issue across the country, if we could solve the issue, then that would mean we'd put it to rest. When issues get solved, then there's no reason to talk about that anymore. When problems get solved, then there's no reason to bring it up. There's no reason to ask for your vote because that guy's bad and I'm good. And the bad thing that they're doing, well, you can't campaign on that anymore because it's been solved. So if you're looking for a stimulus package to come out before Election Day, it's not going to happen. If you're looking for a vaccine to come out and the media is going to back it and say this is a good thing, don't hold your breath. And going to, Joe Biden, got to have masks, got mask mandates. We need it. Yesterday.
Even to get a vaccine will not be available for most populations or well into the 2021. So we're heading into a very dangerous autumn.
We're heading into a dangerous autumn, everybody. Even if we have a vaccine, it's not going to really be ready and we're not going to be prepared and it's going to be dangerous and we got to keep it. It's vote for me. It's going to be really bad. But the president said that we might have one before. The injecting bleach into your veins guy, you're going to trust him? You see where this goes. It's insanity. It's crazy. Oh, what else did he say? He was talking about the empirical evidence. Wait, let this piece go on here.
And an additional, by 215,000 Americans, they say are going to die. Began the spike in November, but by the first of the year, 215,000 will be dead, additional. That's more than have already died. We need leadership right now to prevent that from happening. The same university model shows, the University of Washington model, shows that if there's universal masking, these projected deaths could be cut in half.
The University of Washington, the same models that were discredited that early on that we shut down the economy because everybody said there's going to be 1 million dead. We're going to have 2 million dead people. There's going to be dead people all over the streets. There's going to be 2 million that are going to die from COVID. It's the most horrific thing ever. We're going to have 2 million dead. I'm telling you.
I would call all the governors.
Okay, well, that's not it. How do I know? Mika, Joe.
The numbers, though. Listen, I mean, for people that have said this is the flu, or people that mocked reporters and scientists for listening to the Imperial College study. Dr. Burke said yesterday, every single study they looked at, every model said it would be between 1.6 and 2.2 million Americans dead.
Yeah, did that happen? That's the same models that we were told early on. That's why we had to shut it down. And now we come to find out that the models, maybe wrong. And it's like, we're still going. We're still going with that? Joe Biden's still running with that? Yep. You know why? Because you have Democrats that are like, hey, are you Donald Trump? No, I'm Joe Biden. Okay, I'll vote for you. Do you know what I said? It doesn't make a difference what you stand for. I don't have any idea who you are, but I'm going to vote for you. Yeah, because orange man bad. And, when it comes to policies, I don't care. It's a bowl of doggy do. Could very well be. All right, 239-479-5592. That is the talk and text line. Time for you to call right now. I know you're waiting. Don't wait. Call now, 239-479-5592. Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Call number 5 today at 239-479-5592. Let's do it. Drew's College next. Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic, here is Sabrina Katz.
A disabled vehicle is causing a backup of about 2 miles on Daniels Parkway. This is near Treeline Avenue. So if you're heading out of Gateway or Lehigh Acres and need to get to I-75, stick to Colonial. Colonial is also going to be your alternate for the crash at 82 and Buckingham Road because it is causing congestion on 82 between Colonial to Forum Boulevard. The interstate is still shut down as well at mile marker 162 to 164 between Jones Loop and Duncan Road. Stick to US 41 because traffic is backing up on I-75. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, 89 to 90 degrees, mixture of sunshine and clouds, breezy at times, as we do have the opportunity for some occasional pop-up rain and storms to work their way through. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Please visit us at www.onehourairnaples.com or call 844-1HOUR.
Look and feel your best with Dr. Patrick Flaherty, hosted by me, Gina Birch. Want to hear the latest from an expert? Tune in Saturday at 10 a.m. and hear all the latest innovations in non-surgical, surgical, and lifestyle ideas to help you look and feel your best. Dr. Patrick Flaherty is known for his faces, the fabulous Azul Spa, and now you get your hour with this doctor every Saturday at 10 a.m. Dr. Patrick Flaherty's show is Look and Feel Your Best, hosted by me, Gina Birch. Tune in this Saturday at 10 a.m. and hear how to look and feel your best.
Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Lowest prices ever on over 1,500 new and certified pre-owned vehicles. All new Jeep Gladiator Overland lease, $399 per month. Grand Cherokee Limited or Ram Bighorn Crew Cab, lease for just $299 per month. That's right. Loaded luxurious Grand Cherokee Limited or award-winning Ram trucks. Your choice. Just $299 per month. Plus at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you can drive payment-free for 3 months, interest-free for 6 years, and worry-free up to 100,000 miles. And our parts service and body shop are open to serve you. Jeep Adventure Days, featuring Ram Bighorn Crew Cabs and Grand Cherokee Limited for $299 per month at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 42 monthly, 10,000 miles per year, $32.94 due at signing plus tax title, 0 security deposit, $13.88 per month per thousand borrowed for 72 months at 0% APR with 0 down. Letter approval offers don't combine.
Retirement questions? You can bet Bob Grace probably has the answer. Join him every Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday at noon for Retire with Grace. It's your source for all things retirement, from how current events could affect your savings to strategies to help maximize your retirement income and everything in between. Join us, Retire with Grace with Bob Grace, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Investment advisory services offered through Grace Capital Management Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Mark in Naples. Hey, Mark, how are you today?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD or associate's degree. Question starts right now.
All right, go
All
ahead.
right, Mark. The governor of the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis. Who was the governor before Ron DeSantis?
The governor before Ron DeSantis was our senator now.
Can we accept that? Jake says no.
Rick Scott.
That's it. You got an associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. Which amendment protects our freedom of speech? When you talk about freedom of speech, where do you find that? Which amendment?
First Amendment.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. Who was the last president born in the state of Arkansas? Who was that president from Arkansas?
Bill Clinton.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a master's. We'll see if you get a PhD on this question. This is a tough one. Hillary Clinton, remember she ran for president in 2016?
Oh, I remember.
Do you remember who her running mate was?
Tim Kaine.
That's right. Woo! Look at you. You are the smartest man on your phone. You were right all along, and we're really happy about that. You got a PhD. Congratulations today on Drew's College. Stay right there, Mark. Don't move. Jake's going to take care of the phone call coming up. Also coming up, Bjorn Lomborg from the Copenhagen Consensus. We are going to talk about climate change, these massive fires raging in California. Can we blame them squarely on climate change? You might be interested to hear what our friend Bjorn Lomborg says live from Copenhagen Consensus. We'll talk to him next.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Svetlana Kogan.
a board-certified internal medicine concierge physician on 5th Avenue South. Almost 2 decades of clinical experience in New York taught me a lot about doctoring. My philosophy is that less medication is better. I prescribe healthy lifestyle, good food, and exercise to heal and prevent most of the health concerns. I teach my patients how to use herbs, vitamins, and supplements properly, and spend a great deal of time with each of my patients, empowering them with mind-body balancing steps to prevent illness and avoid hospitalization. If you're looking for an experienced doctor who is knowledgeable in holistic approach to health, check out my website, customlongevity.com. That's customlongevity.com to learn how becoming a part of my patient family can make you healthy and joyful again.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
Does market turbulence and economic turmoil have you worried about your retirement nest egg? I'm Alfie Townsend. Learn how to navigate these uncertain times. Tune in to Saving the Investor radio show every Saturday at 9 a.m. or visit us at savingtheinvestor.com.
Lead, inspire, change the world again. Join thousands and find which volunteer opportunity is best for you. Call 1-800-424-8867 today or visit www.getinvolved.gov. This message is brought to you by the Corporation for National and Community Service on this station.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by CFS Roofing. Online at cfsroofing.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Today, 2 men accused of shooting at deputies will face a judge. Travis Rains and Jordan Gerke are accused of leading deputies on a high-speed chase along Alico Road and then shooting at them. Fearing for their lives, 3 deputies returned fire. You can get your flu shot while you get tested for coronavirus. Today, the Department of Health in Lee County is start offering flu and hepatitis A vaccines at all walk-up testing sites. The flu vaccine, of course, is more important than ever this season because of the pandemic. Senators Marco Rubio and Rick Scott just fast-tracked a bill that would keep the U.S. on daylight saving time through November 2021. They say the nation has been through a lot and does not need the change. The State Ethics Commission found probable cause to believe Fort Myers Police Chief Derek Diggs misused his city purchasing card. Accusations range from using the card to purchase extravagant meals to boots and satellite radio subscriptions. FMPD says all of these expenses were appropriate and within city policy. The commission will be resolved through a stipulation, a settlement, or a consent order. More children are testing positive for the coronavirus. New data from the Florida Department of Health shows Collier County has the 3rd highest positivity rate of COVID-19 for children, but Collier County Department of Health officials say it's getting better. Since the end of July, the positivity rate among kids is dropping, and as of August 30th, it was at about 9%. FGCU suspended 2 campus organizations for hosting large parties. The university president did not say what groups hosted them, but the action is based on verified reports of coronavirus violations. The school also warned individual students who will be suspended if they choose to host large parties. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
A disabled vehicle is causing a backup of about 2 miles on Daniels Parkway. This is near Tree-Line Avenue. So if you're heading out of Gateway or Lehigh Acres and need to get to I-75, stick to Colonial. Colonial is also going to be your alternate for the crash at 82 and Buckingham Road because it is causing congestion on 82 between Colonial to Forum Boulevard. The interstate is still shut down as well at mile marker 162 to 164 between Jones Loop and Duncan Road. Stick to US 41 because traffic is backing up on I-75. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Some occasional hit or miss spotty rain and storms in the forecast for today with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Going to be breezy at times this afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s. More scattered showers and storms possible for your Friday. Temperatures almost identical in the upper 80s and lower 90s. A chance for some more occasional pop-up storms for the weekend. Temps near 90. And then, believe it or not, into next week, a weak front is going to try to make its way across the state. And as a result, slightly drier, but still temperatures in the upper 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News.
We are going to make America great again.
Right. All along.
Getting rid of bacteria, destroying 99.9% of harmful bacteria. How does that sound when it comes to your water? Why not take control? Call the local experts, my buddy Max at Pent Air Water Systems. You can find out what's in your water, right? And with the Pent Air Water System, I'm telling you, I should know I have one. You're going to love the way your water tastes from every single faucet, every one. Their salt-free solution is the Pent Air Smart Combo, can tackle chlorine and scale with no lugging in bags of salt. You've got the Advantage Salt System if you like, would tackle even the hardest water issues. And Pentair's UV system, listen to this, it's capable of destroying 99.9% of harmful bacteria. You know, the ones that find its way into your water, like E. coli. This month, take $199 off installation of your whole home Pentair water system, and let Max, your local Pentair water specialist, find the solution right for you. And they got the white glove service program where they'll even maintain your system for you. So get the test now at 239-880-7799. 239-880-7799.
Thinking about new kitchen and bathroom countertops? Rock Solid's full granite slabs starting at $499, quartz $599, remnants starting at $150 means now is the time to save at Rock Solid. Rock Solid is a worldwide importer. Certified fabricators, installers, true artisans and craftsmen. Shop direct. Don't get caught by hidden costs and delays from the big box stores. Call Rock Solid 239-596-7676. On the web, rocksolidnaples.com. Installation in about a week.
Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
It's time to clean out your files and finally get rid of that mountain of paper. Collier County residents can bring 20 pounds of documents for free shredding. The shredding event takes place the first Saturday of every month at a recycling center near you. The next event is Saturday, October 3rd. Shredding trucks will be on site from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Naples, North Collier, and Northeast Collier. Here's your chance to get rid of old confidential documents for free. For more details, visit colliercountyfl.gov/recycle.
If you're tired of paying for cable news, tune into Newsmax TV right now for free. Get real news with shows from Mike Huckabee, Greg Kelly, Michelle Malkin, Diamond and Silk, Alan Dershowitz, and more. Newsmax is on all major cable systems, or get it free on Roku, Zumo, YouTube, Pluto, Apple TV, Chromecast, Amazon Fire, or your smart TV. So save money and watch Newsmax TV, or download the free app from your smartphone and start watching right now.
Do business more powerfully during Dell's semi-annual sale. Save up to 45% on Dell computers and servers with Intel Core processors. It's time for you to upgrade to new modern devices with Windows 10. Also, save on electronics and accessories, plus free shipping on everything and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call 877-ASK-DELL to talk to a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find just the right tech. That's 877-ASK-DELL or visit Dell.com/business deals.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I'm so glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch. Just go to Drew Steele Radio. Steele has 3 E's, in case you did not remember that. And please subscribe to the channel while you're there. We appreciate it. It helps to keep us going on both YouTube and Facebook. I'm so happy when we have Bjorn Lomborg on with us, Copenhagen Consensus Center. It's so great to see his face. It's always awesome to have him on the program, you know, especially when there are things going on like massive raging wildfires and things going on and people are wondering about what's going on with climate change and is that a part of all of this? And I know you were watching off the air, right? You saw me yelling at my producer. We were getting into this mask debate, and that's a whole other thing about. Listen. I get upset. Here's the thing. I get upset because we were talking about restaurants, and we were saying how the idea that I go to a restaurant and I walk in and I wear the mask in the restaurant, but when I'm sitting down, I take the mask off as if the virus is saying, oh, listen, the guy's eating. Let's not bother him right now. But when he stands up and he goes, just that confusion. But I don't want to go there with you, right? Although I could, but I won't because I really want to focus on this. So here's this New York Post article that comes out with your name on it that says, sorry, solar panels won't stop California's fires. Does California know this?
I think actually most people do know this. Yeah. So, look, the fundamental point here is that that California has always burned. It's burnt a lot. Actually, before European settlement, so before 1800, researchers estimate that Florida used to see a burn rate of somewhere between 4 and 12% of the entire area of California.
Wow.
So every year up to 12% of California would burn. So the reason why that's not happening today is because we have become really good at fire suppression. That sounds like a really good idea. You roll out the fire marshals every time there's a fire, you extinguish it, and then you have very little fire. So the second half of last century, you had about 0.25% of fire fire area every year in California. That sounds wonderful, but what happens, of course, is you then build up all the fuel. All the stuff that didn't burn for more than 100 years has been built up into this large pile that is now ready to become a pyre. That's basically what you're seeing in California today. You have been postponing so much of this fire, the scientists actually call it a fire deficit, that now you get these enormous fires. But still remember, the fire that we see this year, which is the largest ever, which will burn more than 2% of California, is still only half of what it used to be, at least, before global warming. So this is not predominantly about global warming. This is about a fire policy that has very bad unintended consequences.
Yeah, and I guess the irony of it, or the horrible thing about it, is in the past you had fires that would come through, and those fires that happened naturally were the things that nature does, that naturally happen to get rid of the brush, right? To see that. Yeah. And so the idea that some time ago, I mean, I guess it was environmentalists that fought back against those that would say, listen, we have these controlled burns, we get rid of the brush, the underbrush that we know is going to be there that continues to build year after year. And so that is a part of it. But then you also have the issue, and you could speak to this, that what inevitably comes up is the issue of climate change. And then we get to what is and is not man-made, and how much can people do? Because you have an interesting perspective on this, because you believe that there is a little bit of what we do that has to do with the change in climate. But when it comes to how much we can affect it or change it, that's a whole different topic.
Yes. So, first off, on what can we actually do about this? So global warming does have a play in this. So researchers would say it's a smaller part of the total impact, but because there's more higher temperatures from global warming, it'll dry out the wood more easily, and it'll extend the fire season. So there is a component of this that's global warming. But the vast majority, so they estimate about 3/4 of the impact, comes from bad forest management. But the real issue, of course, is then what can you do about it?
Yeah.
Well, if everybody sort of go right to saying, oh, this is all global warming, the natural impact is then to say, well, if it's global warming, we should put up a solar panel. We should, do something about our carbon emissions, and in that way help future citizens of California not to have as much fire. And that's where it becomes ridiculous. Look, global warming has an impact. Global warming is real, and we should fix it smartly. But if you care about the fires, this is possibly one of the least effective ways of all to help people. Because what it means is that you're going to make it worse, because climate is still going to keep rising its temperatures, but slightly less worse in 100 years by implementing incredibly expensive policies. So if not just California, but all of the U.S. went carbon neutral tomorrow and stayed that way for the rest of the century, if you run that in the UN climate panel models, it will reduce temperatures by the end of the century by 0.3 degree Fahrenheit. So almost nothing. So instead of rising to 7.4 degrees, it would rise to 7.1 degrees. That would not be what would be saving California.
Right.
What would be saving California is if you did a lot more prescribed burns. That's both possible, that's much cheaper, and it will help much, much faster. So again, the point here in some ways is to recognize that by over-focusing on climate change, you actually end up picking really bad policies. Both policies are incredibly expensive, but also help very, very little.
Yeah.
There's a new study out in Nature Sustainability that estimate California needs to burn about 20% of its area. 20% of its area.
20?
But they're not, well, I mean, do prescribed burns on 20% of its area.
Well, okay.
It's not that they need to burn up the whole
state.
But, but right now, they're only doing about 1,000th of that because it's really hard to do. There's regulatory problems, there's insurance problems, there's lawsuits. People don't like it because it pollutes. But of course, what happens is if you don't do this, it'll pollute a lot and it'll endanger your house and it'll be really dangerous. So you need to do these prescribed burns. Very cheap, very simple. But because we talk so much about climate change, we talk so little about the solutions that are both cheap and will actually help.
Yeah, and that's interesting that you bring that up. Bjorn Lomborg joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News at Copenhagen Consensus Center, and they do great work there, as he does as well, especially with this topic. I could go hours on this and continue to talk, but the funny part about it is, and it's not really funny, is that you have a prescribed burn, and there are people that are saying, well, you can't have prescribed burns because then you're going to have the smoke in the atmosphere, and we don't want to see that, but yet that's what we have now when we don't have them. It's almost, to what degree do you want to admit that you can either do something where it's confined and you know it's coming and be prepared, or just don't be prepared for what we see. And I guess that's what frustrates people, Bjorn. And I think because, common sense, and people want to have common sense and be able to speak about this issue and say, look, I'll give this to you. Certainly, the things that we do as human beings on the planet, there's going to be a degree of something in everything we do, whether it's on the ground, in the air. We know that. When you have people demagoguing and saying, well, this guy just wants dirty air and dirty water, then we start to get into really crazy territory. And then it's what you said, the expense, the cost, how far people are willing to go for these minimal changes. And yet that money could be well spent to, I don't know, maybe ramp up to different policies and places that we could go so that there would be actual changes that could be taking place. Sure, minimal level, but at least you're using the money wisely. I guess that's kind of where you come from, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So look, there's a number of different things, if I can just unpack this.
Absolutely.
Part of the reason why people protest against prescribed burns is because they would rather that the forest next over was the one that burned. So they wouldn't get the fire and the annoyance, but they would still get the fire protection, because then, if all the forests somewhere around me have already been burnt, my forest isn't going to burn, or has very low probability of burning. So this is a little bit the not in my backyard kind of phenomenon. And that's where you need powerful politicians to actually say, look, sorry, we got to do this because it's smart and it will ensure all of you. The second part is that because people love to talk up parts of the solution, which is climate change, they forget these easy things. And then you end up with these incredibly expensive solutions. Just remember, if the US were to go carbon neutral by 2050, there's really only one good study, and that's from New Zealand, where they actually asked their independent economic organization to estimate how much will this cost us. And the answer was, if you translate it into the US, $5 trillion every year. Yeah, that's a lot of money, right? That's more than the entire federal budget right now. Of course, we'll also be richer in 2050, but that's a huge cost. Imagine spending $5 or possibly even $10 trillion every year on a solution that will not solve your fires, even in 100 years. They'll just make the fires slightly less worse. That's a terrible way to deal with this issue. So yes, do spend it on prescribed burnings. If you want to fix climate change, and I think there's a good argument for trying to fix climate change because it is a problem, but you should do so smartly. And you do that through innovation. Look, all the big things that we have solved in the world, we've done through innovation, not by telling people you have to do with less. If you think back to the 1950s, Los Angeles was a terribly polluted place. It was mostly because of cars. You did not succeed by going out and telling everyone, I'm sorry, you just got to, scrap that car, walk or bicycle to work. That was not going to happen. What did work was that in 1974, somebody invented the catalytic converter, a little, thingy you put on the end of your tailpipe, and suddenly it cleaned up most of the air. Yes, it did cost money, but it was well spent money because it was fairly cheap. You didn't have to change your behavior. You could do all the things you like with your car, but now skies are mostly clean in Los Angeles. That's what we need to do for climate change as well. We need to find a technology that is cheaper than fossil fuels, but emit zero or very little CO2. We don't have that technology right now, but that's what we should be battling for, because in that way, not just rich, well-meaning Americans, but also the Chinese, the Indians, everybody in Africa and Latin America will do the same, unlike what we're doing today.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you, before we go, and ask you a question. It might be a tough question, and I'm sure you probably hear this, and you probably have the answer. That's why I'm going to ask you. But certainly there are people that will say and take this argument. How do we know that right now, that there are things that we can do, but the amount of change is not going to be from here to here? If you're watching on YouTube, you see where my hands are. They're going to be changes, but they're not going to be these substantial, just ginormous change with the things that we could possibly do as human beings to affect the change in the climate. What do you say to people that say, well, if you go before, recorded time, when it seems like there's this arrogance that everything stopped and started when we kept records, as opposed to there's, millions of years of history of the planet where you could say, hey, look, there were probably large swaths of lands, dare I say, almost half the size of some countries that could have burned many, many years ago, which probably changed the atmosphere, could have changed the heating and cooling. It just naturally would happen with or without us here. That maybe what we need to focus on is something that you just brought up. Is it better for us to focus on the effectual change that we can make in specific areas, Los Angeles, the smog that's in the city, China, and specifically in their cities where they're not taking care of that locality, to focus on these individual spaces, than to try to make it this a large, grandiose idea that we can all collectively come together and do this? Is it better to think of it as in the micro instead of the macro?
Yeah, I don't think there's a clear answer to that. I know you'd love me to just say yes, and then we can be on our way. But the reality is, some things are better fixed locally, and some things are better fixed through innovation, and that means globally. If the U.S. invents something that's cheaper than fossil fuels and incredibly clean, of course you want to use that in China and in India and everywhere else. That's what innovation means, that we can better the lives for everyone on the planet. So I think the whole point here is to recognize that we need to do stuff that'll actually help, rather than just stuff where we virtue signal and say, I put up the solar panel, so now I've done my bit for the fires. Whereas, of course, the real impact is, no, you just made electricity more expensive for poor people, and you actually managed to do nil compared to what's actually going to fix the fire problem. So let's focus on what actually works. And you also mentioned these things, things have been happening for millions of years. Absolutely. And there's probably been much, much bigger changes. But what is important about right now is that we have built our societies to withstand right now. So, where you are in Florida, you're probably pretty well equipped with air conditioning. Up in Boston, much more equipped with real cold. What happens when it gets warmer, or if it gets colder, both of these places are going to be a little out of equilibrium. You're going to be built up in a way that doesn't quite fit your temperature. And that's why this is going to be costly from climate change. Not outrageously costly. We're talking about a couple % of our GDP. It's costly. So if we can find a solution that costs less than those couple %, that'd be great. But what we should avoid is to spend 16 or 30% of our GDP to solve a couple of % problem, because that's like cutting off your hand to cure a wrist ache. That's a bad idea.
Yeah. All right, Bjorn Lomborg, I always love having you on the program. If you want to get into more detail and find out more, go to the website, go to CopenhagenConsensus.com. You can find out more there. You can read, if you just Google his name, all over you'll find. And read the article, the New York Post opinion piece, too, about the California wildfires. It's very enlightening and something I would encourage you to check out. And we'll actually put it on our Facebook page and we'll link to it so you can get it there. All right, my friend, listen, I always appreciate a few minutes. Thank you so much. All the best. And we'll speak soon.
Wonderful, Drew. Take good care.
All right. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News right all along. And let's find out what's happening with traffic in just a little bit and weather. We'll get to that in just a minute on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News. The conservative, smart, right voice of Southwest Florida.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana Kia.
Why pay more for a used car or truck? Model year-end sales event at Galliana Kia in Fort Myers. 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease, just $49 per month. That's right, a new car for just $49 per month. 2020 Kia Rio, just $13,990. Yes, $13,990. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Galliana Kia has lenders to get almost anyone approved. Plus, we'll take any trade, in any condition, even if you're upside down. Why? Why buy an overpriced used car when you can buy a new car for less? Brand new Kias, just $49 per month.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana Kia.
Model year-end sales event going on now at Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
24-month lease, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 due at sign plus tax, title, dealer, and acquisition fee. 0 security deposit with lender approval expires month end.
One thing we've all learned from this devastating pandemic is that preparedness provides protection. Hurricane forecasters are calling for an above-average season this year. So now is the time to take steps to protect your home from Mother Nature's worst. Hi, I'm Keith from Storm Shield. Our mission at Storm Shield is to provide the very best storm protection available and to make the process as easy as possible. Don't take it from me, though. Listen to what our customers say or check out our testimonials online at stormshieldSWFL.com.
Yes, my name is Dwayne Channel. Storm Shield Windows, they were the only company that had the hurricane windows that we were looking for. Our best decision we made was purchasing Storm Shield windows.
Storm Shield's windows and doors reduce the exterior noise by up to 80%, and our clients typically see an average energy savings of 40%. Why choose Storm Shield? Because everyone deserves the best. Call us today at 239-491-7002 or visit stormshieldswfl.com.
Trust.
We have breaking news as we begin
always
tonight.
Trust Wink News for the latest information.
Weather is the news tonight.
It can't be bought. It can only be earned.
In Fort Myers, Naples. Wink News now.
Over the past 65 years, as a local news leader, Wink has worked hard to achieve your trust. We're family owned. We're invested in Southwest Florida. We live here. We raise our families here. We are part of the community we serve. That's how we've built your trust. Trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
On the next Drew Barrymore show, Oscar winner, activist, and stunning human being, Charlize Theron. And this just into Drew's news, creator of Smizing, Tyra Banks. Plus, the bigger, the tougher, the stickier, the better. You will never have to worry about stains again. All new Drew.
Drew Barrymore, today at 3 on Wink.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Couple of programming notes. Judge Jeanine Pirro apparently is going to be joining us in about 10 more minutes. She's got a new book out. We'll talk about that. It's called Don't Lie to Me and Stop Trying to Steal Our Freedom. I would just read that and say, buy that book because that's some facts right there. So Judge Jeanine Pirro coming up. Also, text the letters USA to 239-479-5592 right now. We're going to do this each and every week. We're going to end up the program with a Zoom Pledge of Allegiance every Friday. Tomorrow, Friday, 9 a.m. You want to be part of it? Jake will send you the link. Text right now.
This is Daybreak 92.5 Fox News.
Don't miss Straight Talk with Doc Morris every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. right here on 92.5 Fox News. He'll answer all your medical questions.
Does marijuana work? Absolutely. We're helping over 4,000 patients now in this marijuana program, and we can help you too with multiple diagnoses. Get your appointment scheduled today. We can help.
For more information, go to morrismedicalcenter.com. That's morrismedicalcenter.com. And catch Doc Morris on his show this Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on 92.5 Fox News.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
For over 20 years, the Good Feet store has been helping people with foot pain get back to doing what they love without their feet getting in the way. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers.
Slider man, slider man. We make your patio door slide like new, slide like new. Slider man. This is our mission to put your sliding glass door back in the top condition. Slider man, we make your patio door slide like new, slide like new. Slider man.
Call Slider Man toll free 866-594-1969.
True relief for back and neck pain. Here at Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, we focus on back and neck related conditions like stenosis, sciatica, neuropathy, and bulging discs that can cause weakness, numbness, or pain. Being an innovator in non-surgical techniques, I have developed unique and extremely effective spinal decompression protocols for overcoming these chronic and debilitating conditions that don't involve any medications or surgery. This 3-step VAX-D spinal decompression approach uses a patented computerized table that decompresses the spine to gently remove pressure off pinched nerves and increase blood circulation to the area. For young or old, and so comfortable that most patients almost fall asleep while on the table. No hanging upside down. With this award-winning technology, back and neck pain can be a thing of the past. We always offer a no-obligation consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and have I told you about Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting? I know I have because, well, number one, I've used them on multiple occasions. I've had a few moves lately, and each and every time had them at my home. They're fantastic. I love the staff. They are the highest reviewed contractors for what they do, maintaining 4.9 to 5 stars. But here's another thing to consider. What about a kitchen, a bath, an entire home that you want remodeled? They have teams and resources ready right now to walk you through the process so they can turn your dreams into reality. I should know because they did exactly that for me and my wife. I could not be happier. The communication, the friendliness of the staff, the fact that they've been around since 2001, and the difference that they can make, whether it is something like painting a bathroom and especially kitchen and bath remodels. So call them today, Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting, 239-431-2781, and find out what they can do for you and the incredible work that they do for yourself. 239-431-2781 for Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting.
This Wink News Update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Today, 2 men accused of shooting at deputies will face a judge. Travis Rains and Jordan Gerke are accused of leading deputies on a high-speed chase along Alico Road and then shooting at them. Fearing for their lives, 3 deputies returned fire. You can get your flu shot while you get tested for coronavirus. Today, the Department of Health in Lee County is start offering flu and hepatitis A vaccines at all walk-up testing sites. The flu vaccine, of course, is more important than ever this season because of the pandemic. Senators Marco Rubio and Rick Scott just fast-tracked a bill that would keep the U.S. on daylight saving time through November 2021. They say the nation has been through a lot and does not need the change. The State Ethics Commission found probable cause to believe Fort Myers Police Chief Derek Diggs misused his city purchasing card. Accusations range from using the card to purchase extravagant meals to boots and satellite radio subscriptions. FMPD says all of these expenses were appropriate and within city policy. The commission will be resolved through a stipulation, a settlement, or a consent order. More children are testing positive for the coronavirus. New data from the Florida Department of Health shows Collier County has the 3rd highest positivity rate of COVID-19 for children, but Collier County Department of Health officials say it's getting better. Since the end of July, the positivity rate among kids is dropping, and as of August 30th, it was at about 9%. FGCU suspended 2 campus organizations for hosting large parties. The university president did not say what groups hosted them, but the action is based on verified reports of coronavirus violations. The school also warned individual students who will be suspended if they choose to host large parties. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
A disabled vehicle is causing a backup of about 2 miles on Daniels Parkway. This is near Tregeline Avenue. So if you're heading out of Gateway or Lehigh Acres and need to get to I-75, stick to Colonial. Colonial is also going to be your alternate for the crash at 82 and Buckingham Road because it is causing congestion on 82 between Colonial to Forum Boulevard. The interstate is still shut down as well at mile marker 162 to 164 between Jones Loop and Duncan Road. Stick to US 41 because traffic is backing up on I-75. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Some occasional hit or miss spotty rain and storms in the forecast for today with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. It's going to be breezy at times this afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s. More scattered showers and storms possible for your Friday. Temperatures almost identical in the upper 80s and lower 90s. A chance for some more occasional pop-up storms for the weekend. Temps near 90. And then, believe it or not, into next week, a weak front is going to try to make its way across the state. And as a result, slightly drier, but still temperatures in the upper 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomato's Sports Page. These are stressful times. There's turmoil all around us, from our personal concerns about health, family, and finances to our feelings about those who trash this great country, its traditions, its protectors, and its flag. I want to scream and make my voice heard, but instead I'm part of the silent majority, those who are dependable, caring, fair-minded, fiercely patriotic, and who every day help to make America great. Stevie honors the silent majority every day by serving our award-winning food and beverages. Relieve today's stress during our happy hour with a great meal. Choose full-at-the-bone ribs or the best burgers in town, great pizza and more. Most of all, sit down, relax, eat, and drink with others of the silent majority. Stevie honors this great country, its traditions, and the sacrifices made by all those before us and today. Our servicemen, our policemen, our firemen, and doctors, nurses, homemakers, and all others of the silent majority. God bless you, and God bless America, and most importantly, vote. Stevie Tomatoes, Naples, Fort Myers, and Cape Coral.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch at Drew Steele Radio. Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate it. Judge Jeanine Pirro, of course you know her, the host of Justice with Judge Jeanine on the Fox News channel. She's got a brand new book out called Don't Lie to Me and Stop Trying to Steal Our Freedom. The title alone, if you're not going out and buying the book, just with the title, it's awesome. And she joins us this morning on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. It's Drew Steele. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Drew. I'm great. How are you?
We are fantastic here in Southwest Florida, and I love that you have this book out, and I love that we get the opportunity to talk about one thing that I have to mention right out of the gate. When you talk about Don't Lie to Me, the first thing that comes to my mind is, could you imagine if Donald Trump were not president of the United States, and what we would not know, and the lies that we would continue to be told by the media each and every day, and it would just continue. Listen, Providence, it's Providence to me. Thank God we have this president here now more than ever, because that is a big deal. I can't even imagine what it would be like.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, and thank God Donald Trump is president, and we now have the opportunity in the next, I think, 47 days to decide whether or not he remains president. And the truth is that the left would keep us in the dark. I'm not even sure about the Democrat Party anymore. They're being controlled by the leftists, the progressives who believe in Black Lives to the movement Black Lives Matter. Yeah. The truth is we wouldn't know anything about
Nope. Judge, I'm sorry. Sorry, Judge, I lost you a little bit there. I don't know if our cell connection seems to be a little off. Let's try this again.
Okay.
There she is. Okay, good. She's back. All right. Sorry about that. So we were talking about, the lies and what the media is told, the things that we wouldn't know, even about, like you mentioned, Black Lives Matter, right? And the truth that we don't get to hear.
Well, they say to us, these are peaceful protests. Yeah. While they're burning, looting, and pillaging, and they say to us, basically, don't believe your lying eyes.
Right.
I mean, if it weren't for Donald Trump, if it weren't for the fact that he is exposing all of this, then, we would be living in cities like New York, Milwaukee, Compton, and what is going on in this country is beyond anything our forefathers could have imagined. Free speech is no longer free. We're not allowed to say things that are not politically correct. You literally get fired from your job. Mm-hmm. And Kamala Harris, now she's talking about the Harris-Biden administration. Mm-hmm. She's putting herself at the top of the ticket.
Yeah.
They're looking to confiscate your guns. She doesn't think the Constitution prevents her from confiscating your guns. So it's all, almost a charade right now where they're saying, oh, we're just moderate Democrats. No, they're not. These are people who are going to raise your taxes. They want you to stay in your cellar. They want to open the borders, defund police, and take away your guns. That's not the America that my parents brought me into. And I'm not going to tolerate living in America that dark.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure this out, Judge. When's the last time somebody said, wait a minute, you're getting ready to raise my taxes? Hey, burn that building down. Hey, smash that window. Yeah. Who does that? Okay, well, there's a reason behind, yeah. The other thing I wanted to ask you is this. As a former district attorney, we see what is happening in these cities, and I'm concerned with what district attorneys and people are doing around the country to stop some of what is happening, and who's funding these individuals, Judge, that would allow some of the things that are happening. Can you speak to that?
Absolutely. You hit the $64,000 question. People think that what happened on May 25th, with the killing of George Floyd was, just that thing where the country turned on a dime. Yeah. We didn't turn on a dime. This is a long-planned situation. So what we've got is bail reform, which means no cash bail. As soon as the police finish the paperwork, you walk out of the precinct, okay? And let's assume that a prosecutor wants to even look at these cases. The prosecutor who are funded, a lot of the new ones are being funded by the Democrat Socialists of America. They don't believe in incarceration. They believe in reformative justice where they sit everybody down and they say, let bygones be bygones. Can you imagine, and I talk about this in my book, Don't Lie to Me, Can you imagine a rape victim sitting down with a rapist and saying, okay, let's let bygones be bygones? No. It's set up so that there's no bail. They're putting in district attorneys all over the country and who are letting them out, who don't believe in jail. And, in fact, the Manhattan DA, I got a handle on an internal memo that basically said to the prosecutors, let the protesters go, but first find out whether the police were abusive, and let's turn it around and see if we can file charges against the police.
Unreal.
This is anarchy. This is not the America where you can safely raise your family. And gun purchases are through the roof. In New York City, body armor, get this, body armor sales increased by 80%. And it's all over America. And if it can come to Kenosha, Wisconsin, it's coming to your town.
You bet.
Believe me.
Yep. No, it's true. Judge Jeanine Pirro joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, author of the new book, Don't Lie to Me and Stop Trying to Steal Our Freedom. A fantastic book right now because it is relevant to right now and the stories that we hear each and every day and the things that we are talking about and the concerns about stealing our freedom. And again, I bring it back to the president when we talk about the most important elections and this being the most important election for no other reason, to make sure that we are able to keep our liberties, our freedom, because we know on the other side what we will get. And the things that this president, Judge, has been able to do, take away the pandemic and go back in time. And not too long ago, I'm old enough to remember a time when Donald J. Trump, as president of the United States, brought the things that he said he was going to bring and deliver, and tangible differences across the board. We can't forget that.
It's amazing. And what president can you remember, or candidate, who meant what he said and said what he meant and then delivered on his promises?
Right.
I mean, this kind of thing doesn't happen.
Right.
And, the pandemic, they're saying, oh, Donald Trump, he didn't do the right thing. Oh, you're crazy. On April 12th, Joe Biden wrote an op-ed piece on the pandemic talking about what he would do as president. And the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal panned it and said, hey, wait a minute, Donald Trump is doing all of this. He's done it already. And Joe Biden and all the Democrats called the president xenophobic when he wanted to stop and did stop China from travel, which is where the virus was coming from. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah.
And they called him xenophobic. And Joe Biden, to the extent he can have a rally, was having them in March. In March, he was having rallies. I mean, to him, 10, 20 people is a rally. And now, talk about pulling the wool over our eyes. Yesterday, Joe Biden talks about the Harris-Biden administration. Kamala Harris talks about the Harris-Biden administration. I mean, what's going on behind closed doors? What are we not? What are they not telling us?
Yeah.
And that's why I wrote the book. I put truth to the lies, light to the darkness. This is the most important election in American history, because if this doesn't work out, if we're not allowed to talk, the First Amendment, free speech, have guns, Second Amendment, if we're forced to stay in our homes because of a pandemic, look, we're big boys and girls. We get it.
Yeah.
You wash your hands, you wear a mask. Okay, grandma is someone who's more vulnerable. The kids are pretty much okay. The CDC came out and said 6% of the 185,000 people who died of COVID alone. They're dying of other things. My girlfriend, her husband was dying in the hospital. She said all of a sudden she got the death certificate. It said COVID. She said he didn't die of COVID. And then the hospital gets more money.
Yeah.
She has to pay another $20,000 to have the casket hermetically sealed. It's a con game.
Yeah. No doubt. Listen, get out there and buy the book, Judge Jeanine Pirro's new book. It's called Don't Lie to Me and Stop Trying to Steal Our Freedom. You can get it where your favorite books are sold. All the usual places to go. And it's an important read because, it is current. It goes through all of these details. And it's important that you have a book like this, especially at times right now, Judge. And I think that these are the things that are so important, is to have this in your back pocket, the knowledge that you would get from let's say your book, that you would be able to defend what is coming and the things that we need to do to fight against the lies and certainly those that would steal our freedoms. And I know you've got to run, but I appreciate a few minutes. I really do. And hopefully we'll get a chance to do this again in a time when we'd see you in town as well. Visiting would be nice.
I would love to in Fort Myers, but thank you so much. It's a great opportunity to speak with like-minded people. And just don't forget, go to vote. I mean, this is so important.
Thanks, Judge. We appreciate you so much. All the best. There she goes, Judge Jeanine Pirro on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. It's an important book, and it's an important read because of everything that she just mentioned. She lays it out there, talks about the impeachment, talks about the election, talks about all of these things that we need to remember, and all the things that have happened, that have taken place that we have not had the opportunity. If you're watching certain media outlets, and you know who they are, whether it's local, state, or federal. I mean, local, state, or national, not federal. But you know where I'm going here. Is there is something I want to leave, or at least give you a little nugget of something that's a positive. You know, we're flooded with a lot of negative every single day. All the things that the left in this country is trying to do, the documented evidence we have, for example, of George Soros being involved in a lot of what is going on, a billionaire who would like to see nothing more than the destruction of who we are as a nation, and even to make that point, if you want to hear a little bit about how you're not even allowed to say the name, listen to Newt Gingrich, who brought up the name on Fox News and yesterday, Harris Faulkner's show, bringing up the name of George Soros with regard to what I was talking with the judge about the DAs across the country and what they're doing.
The number one problem in almost all these cities is George Soros elected left-wing, anti-police, pro-criminal district attorneys who refuse to keep people locked up. Just yesterday, they put somebody back on the street who's wanted for 2 different murders in New York City. You cannot solve this problem. And both Harris and Biden have talked very proudly about what they call progressive district attorneys. Progressive district attorneys are anti-police, pro-criminal, and overwhelmingly elected with George Soros' money. And they're a major cause of the violence we're seeing because they keep putting the violent criminals back on the street.
I'm not sure we need to bring George Soros into this. I was going to say you get the last word, Speaker.
He paid for it. I mean, why can't we discuss the fact that millions of dollars he spent?
I agree with Melissa. George Soros doesn't need to be a part of this conversation.
Okay. So it's verboten.
All right. We're going to... Okay. We're going to move on.
We're going to move on. Harris Faulkner, Fox News. Newt Gingrich brings up George Soros' name, and we got to shut it down. Just shut it down. You're not allowed. No, I don't think you need to bring his. No, we do. If a liberal on a panel on Fox News says you shouldn't bring up the name George Soros, guess what? You need to bring up the name George Soros. That's what the judge was just talking about. DAs across the country who are imagining policing in a whole different way. You know how that goes. Like in Minneapolis, where the city council is now saying, where's the police? My constituents are saying that crime's ramping up, and where are you guys? You're the ones who said to dismantle it. You voted to dismantle it. And now you're saying, my constituents want to know why crime's going up and what you're doing. The police aren't helping. No, that happened yesterday. That we just played the audio a little earlier of the city council. It's not a joke. It's not like the Babylon Bee. They're serious. And if you're going to take away a nugget of positive, here it's this. That the good news is that there is a ton of places that you can go right now that weren't even there in 2016, where you can get the truth, where you can get the facts. You can say, all right, this story just came out in the mainstream media, whether it's a local or state or national. Now I'm going to go to a different source to find out what's really going on, because I know that they have an agenda. And you have all kinds of places that you can go. You don't like Twitter, you go to Parler. You don't like YouTube, you go to Rumble. You don't like to hear from ABC, CBS, NBC. You don't want to listen. You've got a ton of places that you can go to get information and to get the truth. There are plenty of places that you can go to now, and certainly here in this station, in this show. And so that is the good news. But man, some of the things that are happening, and some of the I got to give you this too. The big talk about. Look, the left in this country wants to move the goalposts. We were told that vaccines are the way to open up the country again. Until now, we find out that the president says, hey, I might have a vaccine. We may have something ready either before Election Day or maybe a little bit after. Now, all of a sudden, it's like, no, I'm not taking. That's the inject bleach into your arm guy. I'm not going to trust that guy. There's no way. Masks are the way to go. Just ask Robert Redfield from the CDC, right?
And they are our best defense.
Best defense. The masks are best defense.
I might even go so far as to say that this face mask is more guaranteed to protect me against COVID than when I take a COVID vaccine, because the immunogenicity may be 70%. And if I don't get an immune response, the vaccine's not going to protect me. This face mask will.
Really? So then why are we taking any vaccines? Then why are we doing flu vaccines? Why are we even bothering? Why are we doing? I mean, listen, you may or may not work. I don't even know. But this mask, the one I'm holding with my hands, that my fingers, where I don't really know what they've been touching, it's touching the inside of the mask that I'm going to put back on my face and breathe in. But that's a whole other subject. This is really where it has to be. Vaccines? Are you talking vaccines now? By the way, the same CDC that said,
should you wear a mask if you're healthy?
No.
Yeah, remember that? Remember that back in the, if you're healthy, should you wear a mask?
No.
Okay. Dr. Fauci on masks?
Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is.
Almost as if when you're wearing a mask, you feel like a super guy gal, and no virus can catch me, and so I'm going to get super close to people, and and I might touch it a couple times because it's really uncomfortable. And when I'm in a restaurant, I'll walk in with the mask on, but when I sit down and eat, I take the mask off because the virus knows I'm having lunch, and it certainly wouldn't want to disturb me. There are places that you can go to get the truth. There are people that are out there on the Parlerverse and the Twitterverse and other places that are coming up with the answers, and they have them, and they're out there. And thank God for a lot of people that are working hard to get you the facts and the truth, because if you had to trust some of the scientists, science! Like that, did that? Science! Yeah, well. All right, here's the thing. Tomorrow, at the end of the program, 9 a.m., we are going to do another Zoom Pledge of Allegiance with you. We would love to have you join us. It was so successful the last time we did it. I think I'm going to do it at the end of every week. So just text the letters USA right now. Text the letters USA to 239-479-5592, and Jake will shoot you over the Zoom meeting link so that you could join us tomorrow. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. Traffic, remainder of the forecast. Wink News meteorologist Matt Devitt.
Temps for today in the upper 80s and lower 90s with a mixture of sunshine.